JRM Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of President's Athletic Conference Football, produced by JRM Video Productions.
It's the final fall Saturday of the President's Athletic Conference season as the Allegheny Gators look to reach 500 in the conference at Frank B. Fuhr Field in Meadville, Pennsylvania, hosting the Bethany Bison on KDKA+. And we welcome you inside the broadcast booth. Austin Bexhold, Alex Terrett. We have reached the 10th game of the season, and it is the last one in the conference with big stakes on both sides as Allegheny looks to reach 500 and get to a place that it hasn't been since 2019 to finish the season at 4-6.
And it's the last conference game already, right? It just seems like we were just here for week one. But both teams really having something to stand on going into the next year. Bethany looking for back-to-back wins for the first time since the 2019 season. And like you said, Allegheny trying to get to 500, even with all the injuries they've had on both sides of the ball.
And Bethany looking for 2 wins for the first time under head coach Brandon Robinson in his 4th season. Victorious last week in their matchup against the Teal Tomcats. And a big reason why they're going to try to continue that momentum is the quarterback, Brett Phillips, who is one of the most athletic players on this team and has really emerged as a leader for them.
It's all going to come through the quarterback position. And like you said, number one, Brett Phillips. He's the program's first 2,000-yard passer for the Bison since 2015. He does a lot through the air, but he's also an extremely effective runner. He has over 300 yards rushing, even when missing the first part of the season due to injury. He's going to have to play well against this really solid Allegheny defense if this offense wants to move the ball.
Now, Allegheny has dealt with significant injuries at the quarterback position. Carson Colucci, the sophomore who started the season, injured, will not play. Nick Barker, the freshman, who has started multiple games for the Gators, also out. So it's Sean Siska making his first career start, and he will be targeting Devin Larry, the star receiver on the outside, early and often.
There's a lot more pressure on the receiving game for this game. Number 4, Devin Larry, is going to be the guy that's going to come out of this with the most work. He ranks 4th in the PAC in receiving touchdowns and 5th in the PAC in receiving yards with over 800. But Coach Lair has really talked about him and praised him and says that he's that different type of player that you see on this field. He moves differently, he runs differently, he cuts differently. And against Westminster in their last game, he had 3 touchdowns, a 72-yarder from his quarterback, Nick Barker, but then a 68-yarder and a 12-yard touchdown from his fellow receiver, Chris Geisweit. Expect him to lay at the scoreboard no matter who is throwing him the football.
Brandon Robinson said the win last week against Teal, the first one of the season, was a relief. He was proud of the composure from his team. They stayed the course. They had a big second half. What do they have to do to carry over the momentum from last week to this week?
Bethany, it's all going to be creating turnovers. They need to get some turnovers on defense to get this Allegheny offense off the field and give their own offense as many chances to score as they possibly can. And there's also that extra phase of the game, and that's special teams, that Bethany's going to have to win. Big returns, big kick returns, punt returns, and they're going to have to flip the field in their favor with their punter, Caden Langley, who is 54th in the nation in punting yards.
Allegheny with a freshman quarterback and a freshman at center for Braden Lair. There has not been a lot of stability at the quarterback position in his 3 years. What do the Gators have to do, especially on offense, to try to get the game rolling?
They're going to have to get creative. A lot of switch-up at quarterback just provides a lot of inconsistency for your offense. So sometimes you really need to dive deep into that playbook to really score some points. And that involves receivers throwing the football. So Chris Geisweit already has 3 passing touchdowns on the year and been extremely effective in that regard. And then they're going to have to pressure the quarterback on defense. If they want to disrupt this Bethany offense early, you have to be able to close the pocket on Phillips and not let him escape and make plays down the field.
They say that first impressions are lasting impressions, but the one you leave at the end can mean even more. How will these two teams finish the season? Kickoff from Meadville is next.
Thanks for fixing the door.
I was nervous about that lock.
To your family, you are more than just your income.
What would she do without me? She'd probably have to marry our next door neighbor, Todd.
Well, Todd, I have no feelings for you whatsoever, but I'm going to have to say I do. I can't afford a handyman.
Gotta get some life insurance.
Although you're irreplaceable, a life insurance policy from GBU Life can provide the financial security your family needs for a secure future. To get started, visit gbu.org.
From heating and cooling to a large array of construction equipment, Herc Rentals has the gear you need to get the job done. Herc Rentals is already a staple in several communities across the United States and Canada and have been serving our customers' needs since 1965. With a catalog of equipment that spans the spectrum of almost every kind of solution you can think of. To learn more about Herc Rentals, visit hercrentals.com or call us at 1-888-777-2700.
What a score! Punts his way into the end zone. Up to the races to the 20, 15, 10, 5 into the end zone again.
ADKA plus.
80 won the toss and just defer to the second half, so the Bethany Bison will take it first. It will be booted away by Ian Olson, the sophomore kicker. Brooks and Bison back, and we're underway from Meadville as it is taken from the 5. Bison up past the 20 and is upended as he passed the 25-yard line. Big hit delivered. And that is where the Bethany Bison will take over after the strong hit on special teams by Ty Vickery. So Brett Phillips, the junior, 6'1", 180-pound quarterback from Wheeling Park High School. A lot of players from Wheeling Park High School on this Bethany Bison's roster. Has become a leader, is also a captain for them, and starts out in the shotgun. On receiver far side, 2 to the near side, and it's a run that doesn't go anywhere for Phillips. He's immediately decked by Drew Evans. The junior outside linebacker knocked him down for a loss of 1.
And Coach Robinson said they were going to get some design runs for Brett Phillips, but try to get that option, that speed cut. Instead, just Drew Evans meets him right in the hole. And that's a big-time hit for number 55.
Empty backfield for Phillips. They like to run him a lot. He's their leading rusher. Man on the rush as Phillips just throws it up for grabs, and it's nearly intercepted by David Williams. It looks like Phillips thought that there might have been an offsides call. There was no penalty, though, as Isaac Campbell came flying off the edge, unblocked, and Phillips was just trying to get it away.
And it's just hard to see as a quarterback if that's an offsides or do you just get a really good jump off the snap. But to me, that looked like he was definitely offsides, but refs don't agree.
3rd down and 11. Shotgun for Phillips. 3 receivers line up to the near side. Phillips has time, steps up, and is taken down. Drew Evans once again in the backfield, wreaking havoc to force a 3-and-out.
And what a series by number 55, Drew Evans. This time he's able to just trip up Brett Phillips before he even gets a chance to escape. But you can see him tuck that ball, wanting to move, just grab around his ankles and make sure he cannot get up. And that's a great play by Allegheny's defense. Great first drive for this stout defense who's really trying to prove a point today.
And it loses 5 as the punting unit is on. Caden Langley will punt it away. Devin Larry standing at midfield. Langley is able to get it away. Sends Larry back to the 40. Can't pick it up cleanly at first, now does. And Larry is spun out of bounds at the 36. That's where the offense takes over for Allegheny on its first series with Sean Siska at quarterback. Nick Barker, Carson Colucci, both banged up and not playing the rest of the season. Colucci tried to come back a couple weeks ago and play, and he ended up playing a little bit with a broken leg, it was later discovered, as he is just one tough quarterback. He started out the season as the main guy for Allegheny, but it's now Siska making his first career start in the final game of the regular season, starting in the pistol with Baraducci behind him as the back. And they give it to Don Baraducci, running far side. Baraducci breaks off a couple of tackles and is close to a first down. They'll spot him down at the 43 after the solid gain of about 8 yards.
anytime you have a freshman quarterback making his first start, his best friend is going to be the running back. And Baraducci is a guy that they're going to have to lean on a ton, especially at the beginning parts of this game, to kind of open up some throwing lanes for Sean Siska. And we know, when talking to Coach Lair, he's got a lot of promise at the quarterback spot, but they got to get him settled down really early.
Back to the pistol and back to the ground. Baraducci moves his way forward for a first down. Over 140 carries on the year, 630 yards on the ground. He averages 4.5 per carry and is second in the PAC in yards per game.
And you'd like to see that average just go up a little bit more at 78 yards a game on the ground. But, I mean, when you get so many carries like that, almost 140 attempts now, he needs to get that average up just a little bit, and I think that offensive line is willing to take a step today.
Bunch formation around the line of scrimmage. Matt Siska will throw for the first time, and it's incomplete off the hands of Taryn Mitchell. A little bit high for him. As we were watching Siska warm up, and we were talking to Braden Lair, he said that Siska is the best pure thrower of the football that Allegheny does have, and it was really just some of the things early in the season, just trying to process the game and get a feel for the college level, where now he is ready for his opportunity to try to take advantage of the chance with the multiple injuries. Freshman at 6'2", 180. Has the size you want as a quarterback at this level as Baraducci gets another call. Baraducci into Bethany territory and tackled down at the 46 as he picks up 6.
And if you're going to run the football like this, I mean, Sean Siska is not really going to have to do too much during this game, but Baraducci's finding some really big running lanes to start this game, and if you're able to push the ball that much on one rush play, it might be a little bit hard for Bethany defense to catch up.
Charlie DeSaya, this junior 6'2" outside linebacker, one of the main tacklers for Bethany defensively on the stop. Sets up 3rd down and 4. They'll send Baraducci out to the near side. Siska to throw. The pass is deflected and incomplete. Almost intercepted. It went in and out of the hands of Josh Shepperson. He had it on a couple of different juggles, Alex, but just could not bring it in.
And you just think that with this Bethany defense has struggled creating these turnovers, and this is just a gift. And it seems like he got it the first time, second time, nope. And that one falls incomplete, and that's just one that you have to have for the Bison defense, because you're struggling so much stopping the run, and then you have a freshman quarterback that's willing to throw the ball down the field, and you have a chance to make a turnover to get him rattled, and it's another missed opportunity.
The offense is going to stay out on the field on 4th and 4 at the 46. They will go. Siska with time, steps up, tucks, will run. Siska, can he get to the 42? He did not. Forward progress will spot him at the 43-yard line, and Bethany holds.
It seemed like Siska had that first down, and he just needed to fall forward, but instead he tries to make the play a little too much, and that's just like that freshman mistake, that young player mistake, that you just need to lean forward to get that extra yard instead of trying to bounce it outside, and ends up taking a little bit of a loss there and not getting the sticks.
Sort of like a shoestring tackle to bring him down. As you mentioned it, Alex, you just go north and south, probably have a good chance of being able to pick it up. Turns it over now, starting at the 44. Phillips, a little bit of a broken play, throws it incomplete at the feet of Jones. RPO action, looked like he wanted to hand it off. Sets up 2nd down.
And like you said, the RPO game, as a quarterback, you just have to make a decision. You can't just wait to see if he can play both. Instead, he looks to see like he's going to hand it, right, then pulls out the last second, and then his receivers aren't ready to catch the football.
Please set the play clock to 30 seconds. Start on my whistle, please.
And we'll reset play clock. Our head referee, Kenny Johnson, today. The second drive for the Bison. Briar DeSanti, the offensive coordinator, sends Burns in motion to the far side as they hand it off. First carry of the day for the Bison. Goes for up 2 yards. Multiple Allegheny tacklers there. In on the stop after just a short carry for Julian Burrell, freshman running back from Virginia.
Julian Burrell with the run. Huriel Khalees with the tackle for your Gators.
Huriel Khalees was on the stop. They set up 3rd down and 8. 2 receivers far side, 2 near side. Shotgun for Phillips. Allegheny brings 4. Phillips steps up. Phillips goes down. Back to the line of scrimmage as he is sacked by Huriel Khalees, his 3rd of the season, as the punting unit comes on.
And this is the hardest part when you play a quarterback that likes to run the football is you got to contain. You got to keep everything off the edge and seal that edge. And they do a great job. That Allegheny defensive line just closes in on that pocket, doesn't give any rushing lanes for Brett Phillips to escape from.
Huriel Khalees, the junior from Peabody, Massachusetts. A strong defensive player the last 2 years for the Gators. It's a high snap, and it's muffed by Langley. Langley goes to try to chase it, and he's knocked down, and it's taken by the Gators at the 16-yard line. Oh, Langley had the ball go over his head, was just not able to corral the snap. Hunter Turner, the long snapper, the freshman, snapped it too high, and a golden opportunity awaits the Allegheny Gators.
Miller's Mini Storage has the extra room you need. For more than 3 decades, our storage facility in Elizabeth, PA has offered secure, affordable, and accessible storage solutions. Miller's Mini Storage has you covered. Simply bring a lock and key and keep your items safe at our location. New insulated units are available with dawn to dusk access. Storing with us is easy and convenient. Visit millersministorage.com today and reserve your space. Miller's Mini Storage, your space, your way.
This is a meal. We're talking a good food that makes you feel good meal. You feeling that? Now, meal this. A salad for the first time in a week meal. A catching up with your ex meal.
So, how's your mom?
Been there. Ooh, a scoring cool dad points meal.
Obviously.
Thank you. Do I spy an I need 5 minutes to myself meal? Whatever you're feeling, at Panera, it just meals good.
First down, Allegheny at the 17-yard line. John Siska, the second drive at quarterback. That's played in a few prior games for today. 7 of 14, 74 yards, no touchdowns and a pick for today's action. Has Baraducci behind him and gives to Baraducci, who stacks up at the 13 and is able to gain 4.
And I think you're going to see how this Bethany defense is going to play, is going to change throughout the game. And Coach Robinson is probably going to load up that box and try and force that freshman quarterback to beat them. And until he proves you otherwise, I think you should just keep stacking the box and keep trying to shut down the run game. And after that first drive, they really had to pull more linebackers into the box. And you see on that first play, they're able to kind of minimize the damage a little bit.
And it's an offensive line that's anchored by seniors on the left side, Barnes and Rogowski. As it's Baraducci up the middle. Close to a first down, and it will set up first down and goal after the pickup of 6.
And this offensive line is really getting a lot of push on Bethany's defense. And it just seems like these linebackers for Bethany aren't really filling that hole as early as they should and just leaving these run lanes open. And Baraducci's taking advantage on his first sprint out.
Charlie DeSaya saved a touchdown at least for now. First and goal at the 8. They line up Chris Geiswhite to the near side. Siska hands it off again. Baraducci trying to go up the middle. And he plunges ahead to the 5.
3 on the play will bring up second and goal for your Gators.
Andre Barnes and Alex Rogowski, part of 10 seniors that were honored by Allegheny before the game. A lot younger on the right side of the line. They're anchored by Aiden Watt in the middle. Michael Ponziani, the sophomore from Neshannock High School, and Harrison Eckert, the sophomore 6'3" right tackle from Frewsburg, New York. Round out the offensive line of 5. Facing second down and goal from the 5. Bertucci remains in the backfield. Siska looks to throw to the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown, Allegheny. Chris Geiswhite, the senior from Corpus Christi, Texas, reaches the end zone for the second time.
Geiswhite is kind of their premier receiver. He's their older veteran in that group, and that senior. And this is just a great little pivot route by Geiswhite, able to get that initial separation, and then Sean Siska finding his receiver there for an easy touchdown.
Geiswhite, another one of the captains for Allegheny, who actually has more passing touchdowns than receiving touchdowns on this season. 3 for 3 for 89 yards and 3 touchdowns through the air. That was just his second receiving touchdown, and the extra point up and good from Ian Olson to make it a 7-0 lead for the Allegheny Gators at 3-6 overall, 3-4 in the conference, trying to make it an even 500. Let's check in with W&J against Teal, the conference champions in the PAC, Washington and Jefferson, with Andrew Sharp as one of the main bell cow running backs for the Presidents, Andrew Sharp and Kobe DeRosa. Leading the charge for the Presidents, who will have a playoff game next week, taking on the Teal Tomcats, team that Bethany defeated last week. And you get to see a touchdown from Andrew Sharp to extend the lead for W&J in the first quarter of action on the PAC Digital Network. Our JRM Sports Game Break live check-in at Washington as we bring you back in to Allegheny. Austin Bexold and Alex Terrett alongside from Frank B. Fuhrfield. The Gators capitalizing. Siska, first career touchdown, and it goes to Chris Geiswhite, freshman to senior for 6. As Bethany will send Brooks and Beersing back to try to return it with 8 minutes remaining in the quarter. Beersing takes it from the 6. Flag comes in at the 20, as Beersing is wrapped up at the 23.
Gisentainer with the tackle for your Gators. Ty Vickery in also. Flag.
Ty Vickery once again involved in the special teams play. We've seen that on back-to-back instances.
30 return. Always 18 on the return team. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Andrew Bandish, freshman from Fraser High School, called for the holding penalty that will back up the Bison to the 10.
You really haven't seen much production from this Bethany offense. And you just really haven't seen anything in the run game. And then Brett Phillips is really having a lot of trouble trying to get out of the pocket whenever it starts to collapse in on him. These receivers really need to start getting that separation down the field.
They send Beersing in motion to the far side and swing it out to him. Beersing with some blocking in front of him. Shifts away from a couple of tacklers as he approaches the 20-yard line. And it will be good enough on a pickup of 10.
And that's an easy way to get your quarterback some completions on these first couple drives. A little swing pass out to the outside, and just a lot of good blocking there by the receivers, trying to create some running lanes. And they end up getting their first down of the game.
Allegheny showing pressure off the edge. They bring it. Phillips to throw, and the pass is caught. Quick slant route for Michael Davis. Sophomore from Wheeling Park High School. Phillips and Davis went to high school together, and they connect for 8.
Bethany's starting to get a little bit more up-tempo, trying to get a lot of plays in, trying to give this Allegheny defense a lot to look at.
They hand it off, and it's a good carry up towards the 35-yard line. A team that really doesn't run it too often. When they do, it's mainly been Phillips, as the carry went to Julian Burrell, the freshman, once again on the call, and he's been the main featured back, as Richard Buchanan has taken the majority of the snaps, but it's another solid gain of 4.
Nice little balance attack for the Bison. They're kind of starting to set up a little bit of a deep shot here, trying to force those linebackers to play more in the run game and limit the guys that are out there in coverage.
2nd and 7 at the 37. Another handoff. Good run for a first down. It goes for 8. So the freshman getting an opportunity and making the most of it so far.
And that's what you need. You need this running game to step up. It's almost been non-existent here for the Bethany Bison over almost all season. And usually because they're playing behind, they have to throw the ball a lot. So now if you're getting a little bit of more production in the beginning of the game, start to open up the pass game.
First down at the 45. Back to Burrell. Well, he only gains a yard this time. Strong tackle made by Edwards, the sophomore from Youngstown, Ohio. Javi Edwards, 49 tackles on the season. Second and 9 for the Bison. Phillips to throw. As time steps up and will run. Phillips slides down as he approaches midfield. Started the slide, though, at the 48. So it will just gain 2. So 3rd and 7 coming up for Bethany.
And Phillips makes that decision pretty early that he's going to tuck that. Sees a lot of guys go out in coverage. Those linebackers bail because they see that he drops back to pass and finds that running lane.
And Braden Lair said they have to be smart with a running quarterback. Want to make sure that they keep contained and don't allow Phillips to have that much running room. And kind of he took away a couple of yards for himself. There's a free play. It's incomplete. Was looking for Jones as looks like it might have been Drew Evans that came off the edge.
Offsides. Defense, number 55. 5-yard penalty, replay, 3rd down.
And Evans is called for it as it didn't seem like Jacoby Jones really was on the same page with his quarterback about the go route with the free play. So it will move the ball into Allegheny territory to the 47. 3rd and 2. Empty backfield for Phillips. The cowbell sounding at Allegheny. With a flag coming in.
False start, offense, number 67. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Nick Stuchel is called for the penalty, the right tackle. So the 5 yards that they were just given, they give right back.
And that's the stuff you can't do. And it just seems like that defensive line's always early. And it just seems like maybe the offensive linemen are just going a little too early, but it just seems like they're always a little bit of movement on the line of scrimmage.
Empty backfield again for Phillips on 3rd and 7. Once again, Evans coming off the edge. And
that must say a lot about Brett Phillips' hard count right now. He seems like he's getting a lot of guys to jump.
Yeah, Elijah Morgan-Washington, the left tackle, was looking over the sideline and pointing at Evans, trying to make sure that they try to stop him, and instead it's downfield, incomplete from Phillips, trying to connect with Charvez Brooks, the speedy freshman. And Bethany will line up the punt. The last time that Bethany attempted to punt, it was disastrous as Phillips just a little bit too far for Brooks. So the last time that Bethany punted, ball was high for Langley to try to take it, the sophomore punter that also serves as the kicker. Hunter Turner, the long snapper. This time it's a better one, and the kick is away. That Larry will let bounce at the 25, and will just get out of the way of it, as it will be downed inside the 15 with 4:26 remaining. First quarter of play. Allegheny up 7-0.
Have a nice day, family.
What would they do without me?
Can someone fix my hair?
Must have cheesy eggs.
I can't find my keys.
No, annoying! Never! I'm the king of
Oh, I need some help.
I better get more life insurance.
You're irreplaceable, but a life insurance policy from GBU Life can provide your family with the resources for a well-planned future. Visit gbu.org to get started.
A house is just 4 walls, but a home, that's something more. At Your Town Realty, we don't just work here, we live here. We're small by choice, with deep roots in real relationships that go beyond transactions. And because this city means so much to us, we give back, year after year. It's not about being the biggest, it's about being the one that feels like home. Your Town Realty, locally owned, community grown.
To learn more, visit gcc.edu.
Welcome back to Meadville. It was a great ceremony earlier today before the game as the unveiling of the press box being named the Vic P. Crest 60 press box, honoring the late Vic Crest, known as the Crest Box, a 2025 Allegheny Hall of Famer, a 4-year letter winner in basketball. Also wrote columns in the areas. It's a end around to Mitchell, who is able to flip his way forward for about 8 yards. Wrote for the Meadville Tribune, called Allegheny football as well. His wife Karen is there in the coin toss to flip a commemorative coin to commemorate the Vic P. Crest press box, graduate of 1960 at Allegheny, with new signs being deployed inside and outside the press box, as well as at the first down for Allegheny. The Gators commemorating the press box in the final game of the regular season, up to the 28-yard line to set up first down.
Tackle by Desea for the Bison.
As Desea made the stop, and John Siska on his third drive. Lines up with Baraducci in the backfield. And Baraducci off to a solid start, the sophomore from Erie McDowell High School. They send Griffin in motion to the near side of the formation, the senior tight end. Siska to throw. Siska will take off and just gets back to the line.
Siska will get back to the line of scrimmage.
Not much amount for him.
And Siska's trying to get to the outside here, trying to throw the ball, but instead sees every receiver's covered and decides to just tuck it and kind of take his losses and get back to the line of scrimmage.
That was Ryan Maltzby, the freshman, 6-foot nose tackle from Baltimore, Maryland, on the stop. Bethany, a really young team, plays a ton of freshmen and sophomore. There are only 2 seniors in the starting lineup. As Baraducci on the swing pass, out of the backfield, takes it for a solid gain. And he gets 5 on the pass from Siska and gets halfway there.
Seems like everything's running through number 22 in the run game, but also getting a lot of swing passes, a lot of short routes to just get him moving. Just seems like he's kind of the kryptonite here for this Bethany defense so far.
So the lineup with Devin Larry isolated to the near side of the formation. Haven't seen him used too much because of the running game. And as Siska rolls out far side. Flag comes in. Siska stretches out to try to pick up the first down, but he's going to be marked a yard short as he extended his arm with the football to try to get to the 37-yard line. And we'll check the flag in the backfield, and Allegheny is already moving back.
Holding, offense number 11. That penalty's declined. Brings down 4th down.
And it goes on Will Griffin, so a little bit surprised by that, Alex. Bethany elects not to take the penalty, which would have backed it up, made it 3rd and long, so it instead will be 4th down and 1, and with how Allegheny's been running the football, I would imagine they're just going to go for it and hand it off.
And they're keeping their quarterback out there, so you can believe that Coach Lair is going to take this as a gift, and he's going to try and get this first down.
Can Allegheny convert this time on 4th down? They go to Baraducci, and Baraducci fighting his way, trying to get to the 38, and he gets to the 39 and moves the change. Baraducci, the extra effort to be able to fall forward, keep fighting, keep the legs moving, able to extend the drive.
And you just think about, why do you decline that penalty? Because it would have been a 3rd and long, potentially to set up just another 4th and long, but instead they elect to decline the penalty, give them a 4th and 1, and like you said, Austin, with how Allegheny's been able to run the football, that just seems like a little bit of a questionable decision-making.
And there was good pressure at the line from Cam Bailey, the linebacker, came up to help make the play, but just not enough as Siska looks to throw, steps up, rolls out, delivers, pass is caught, Griffin, first down. Will Griffin on a gain of 12 as Siska is able to complete the pass and a solid strike by the young quarterback.
That's a good throw to Will Griffin, the tight end, but you just see Chris Geiswhite wide open down the field, and you hear the entire Allegheny sideline just yell, throw it. because he's wide open down the field, but still ends up throwing it, but to just Will Griffin still to move the chains.
And Griffin, who I believe here at Allegheny could be an all-PAC type of player, 18th catch of the season. Also has reached the end zone 4 times. As they go back to Baraducci. Baraducci keeps the legs turning. Upfield past the 30. Baraducci cuts it back. Baraducci to the 10. Baraducci to the 5. Touchdown, Dom Baraducci. He goes 49 yards. A flag comes in late at the 20, but Baraducci scrambles into the end zone for his 7th touchdown of the year. We'll check the marker, but Baraducci just continuing to battle, cut up field, and evade tacklers. As the flags came in after Baraducci was in the end zone. So we'll see if they ultimately
resolve the play as a touchdown. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 4 on the offense.
They rule it a touchdown. Devin Larry called for an unsportsmanlike penalty, so that'll...
Correction, that foul is on number 5. Bethany will take it on the kickoff.
No, it's instead on Nick Berkey. We'll go on the kickoff, 15 yards. And Allegheny.
That's number 5's first unsportsmanlike towards ejection.
Another 30 seconds left in the quarter.
Ian Olsen with the extra point attempt for your Gators.
49 yards for Baraducci. Second leading rusher in the PAC, adds on to his total. As Olsen is on for the extra point. And despite a good rush from Bethany, extra point up and good to make it 14-0. But it was 49 yards by Dom Baraducci, and good blocking, Alex, by the offensive line.
And it's all going to come through the center, right, Aiden Watt. And once you see that he is going to open up this running lane by pulling, he's going to come all the way across the formation. And when you play it, you're going to see Baraducci make a cut right off number 62. Number 62 hits his defender, seals him off. Baraducci is able to get around, and then he cuts it all the way around the field for a nice Allegheny Gator touchdown.
And a good job by Devin Larry as well, just to continuing to run with the play and basically took his man out of the equation to potentially make the tackle. So as long as Baraducci could navigate through the traffic, he was going to reach the end zone. And it's a double-digit lead for the Gators here in the first quarter. And Alex, the first quarter has been an absolute struggle for Bethany. The Bison have now been outscored as this quarter is about to near its end. 135-7 in the first quarter.
And it's just the way you start the game is really important. And we saw on the first drive for Allegheny, Bethany could have potentially had an interception there and is not able to capitalize. And then you stop them on third down with the penalty to set up fourth. Instead, you decline the penalty to get them 4th and 1, and they end up converting and leads to that touchdown.
Kicked away from the 20 after the penalty, and it's taken by Beersing with some space, and Beersing is brought down at the 44-yard line. So good starting spot for Bethany, and they're going to need a productive drive here on offense. Trying to get something rolling, as haven't gone to the ground game too often. It's been Phillips through the air, as haven't seen Jacob Burns, the sophomore 6'4", 465-pound wide receiver, factor into the equation just yet. One of their leading receivers. Jermaine Beersing is lead man in terms of receptions and yards, but Burns not too far off the pace of that. Julian Burrell is able to gain 3. As the quarter comes to an end with Allegheny leading 14-0. A great start for the Gators in the final game of the PAC regular season.
Complicated payment processing slowing you down? Tired of the same old event management system? Wishing your donation campaigns could run themselves? We can help. Whether you're with a corporation, EMS agency, fire department, school, or small business, eServices Payment Technology has something for you. What started as a top-notch payment processing system has turned into a digital phenomenon. Digital payments, membership management, fund drive optimization, marketing consulting, and reserved seating. Yes, schools, I'm talking to you. If you have a payment, we have a simplified process. Visit eservicesstack.com today to organize your organization.
At Laway, we understand the power of personalization. From hats to water bottles, our expert services include screen printing, embroidery, and a variety of promotional items. We also specialize in team sports gear. What truly sets Laway apart is our dedicated design team, including our talented on-staff graphic designers and exponential customer service. Choose Laway to make a lasting impression on and off the field.
When news breaks, KDKA is ready at a moment's notice, wherever the story takes us.
This is what we're looking at on the south side. It's the Birmingham Bridge, East Carson Street. Got a roof off of a building.
Breaking down what's happening in your community.
Vehicles stuck near Myersdale, Somerset County. The mayor here tells me this is some of the worst flooding he has ever seen.
Giving you the most accurate, up-to-the-minute information.
But let me give you a look at the car that he was driving.
KDKA TV, your home for breaking news.
We start the second quarter with Bethany facing 2nd down and 7 from the 46. Austin Bechtold and Alex Terran alongside from Meadville, Pennsylvania, as the Bison look for back-to-back victories. It was the first win of the year for Bethany last week, able to defeat Teal. Pearson goes in motion to the far side. Phillips keeps, throws, incomplete. Looking for Elijah Moffitt, the senior tight end. So it sets up 3rd and long. And now Brandon Robinson is in his 4th year leading the Bethany Bison. He is 3-36 overall. He started in 2022. They went 1-9. They were 0-10 in 2023. Last year they were 1-9. Right now, in a 14-0 hole as we begin the second quarter, looking to try to avoid another 1-9 season. As on 3rd and 7, Phillips bobbles the snap. Now steps up, and Phillips will run. Phillips is dragged out of bounds. Ryan Croston, the leading tackler for the Gators, 8th in the PAC in tackles. Brings down Phillips and gives him no opportunity to pass midfield.
That's definitely a way to bring down the quarterback. Just grab on that jersey and just try and rip him down. And Croston's leading tackler on the team for a reason, and he just puts that exclamation point on that tackle.
He just slung him around out of bounds as the offense will stay out on the field on 4th down and 3. So we've seen both teams fairly aggressive on 4th down, going for it on these 4th and short type situations. Maybe trying to get Allegheny off sides as well, as Robbie Janis almost jumped. And now Brandon Robinson will call timeout. That's the first timeout used by Bethany on the game before. Critical 4th down play as Washington and Jefferson. We saw them up 21-0 against the Tomcats. They will finish, in all likelihood, the PAC undefeated 8-0. Potentially host a home playoff game. We'll find out just in the next day or so if that will be the case. Grove City, 2nd in the conference at 6-1, and then a cluster of Westminster and Geneva with 2 losses, and Case Western with 3. But some teams are near the bottom, like Teal, Bethany, St. Vincent with just 1 win. No one will go winless in conference play, but W&J, we're going to go undefeated in conference action. Allegheny trying to join Waynesburg at 500 in PAC play. And Waynesburg, earlier this week, reportedly moved on from head coach Dr. Cornelius Coleman after 4 seasons. Waynesburg's on its bye this week, so Bethany likes to punt it away. And Larry will let it go over his head, and it's a smart decision as it bounces into the end zone. So Waynesburg, the team that ended up getting its bye at the very end of the season. Last year, Waynesburg faced the gauntlet of teams, including the W&Js of the world, the Grove Cities of the world at the very start of the year. And we were there earlier this season when they played against the Golden Tornadoes of Geneva, where Geneva currently up on Case Western on the road, beating Case Western Reserve in Cleveland. The final game for Gino DeMarco before his reassignment.
But Austin, you talked about it with Waynesburg, and they're at 500, and having a bye in the last game of the season is usually not something you want, and just how the schedule falls sometimes. But the Yellow Jackets definitely moving on.
Baraducci takes tacklers with them as he goes to the 28, and a gain of 8 on first down.
And with the PAC, you just kind of see like there's a huge divide between the top 4 teams, right, and the bottom 4 teams. And then Waynesburg just kind of hanging around in the middle there because they're winning a lot of the games that they should win, but they're still not in that top tier of teams in the PAC. And a lot of these teams, and both these teams that are playing right now with Bethany and Allegheny, are really trying to get out of that bottom half and eventually get into the top tier.
Yeah, and Allegheny jumped from last season, which was a tough one. They only won 4 games in the first 2 years for Braden Lair, trying to win game number 4 here today of the season. Siska rolls out near side, and now will tuck and run. Gets a block from Griffin, and he steps out of bounds shy of the sticks.
Cisco on the carry.
It will be third down. He only was able to grab 1 yard before he was pushed out.
3rd and 1 for your Gators.
And you like to see Coach Lair just trying to make things easier for a freshman quarterback to really come in. And Coach Lair talked about how it's the maturity, and not in terms of attitude or anything like that. It's just the preparation that goes in on a week-to-week basis when you're starting quarterback for a college football team.
3rd and 1 with Baraducci the back. They'll check to the sideline and get the call in. Bethany showing pressure off the line, needing the 30. Baraducci doesn't get there. He is dropped immediately in the backfield by Isaac Swagger, the freshman linebacker that has started every game this season for the Bison. Tackle for loss that forces Allegheny to punt.
And Swagger just immediately recognizes that run play and just fits his gap so well and so quickly that Baraducci doesn't even have a chance to make a move. And Swagger, even as a freshman, that just looked like such an experienced and explosive play for him on the defense.
So Allegheny to punt. Reed with a lot of pressure around him is able to get away a high kick. Fair catch called for and made at the 36.
Fair catch at the 35-yard line.
Dylan Reed, the freshman punter. Young special teams on both sides. Ian Olson, a sophomore, only 1 of 4 on field goals this year, along of 29. Allegheny does not kick a lot. Caden Langley serves as the kicker and the punters. 3 of 4 at the 37-yard line. We'll see if any field goals might factor into the equation, but just 2 touchdowns for the Gators so far. No points on the board for Bethany, but they've had a couple of drives with solid field position. This one another, which will begin at the 36. Phillips, an empty backfield. Piercing in motion to the far side.
Snap infraction, number 63, offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Alex Beaver, the center. The sophomore is called for the snap infraction. They had Burrell standing to the right of Phillips. Pretty much right next to each other on that right side. Now he will stand to the left of Phillips. And another odd snap as Phillips delivers it downfield, one-on-one coverage, out of bounds, incomplete. Intended for Davis, was fighting with Banks downfield. And there is a flag.
5-yard penalty, replay, first down.
And it's because Michael Shank was offsides, the nose tackle from Sarah Catholic. There's been some sloppy plays so far in this first half.
And Bethany's really utilizing that hard count, and Brett Phillips is able to get players to jump off sides. It's just a flip of the coin as if it's the defensive line or if it's his own offensive line that's jumping right now. And got to recognize those free plays a little bit quicker and make them more effective.
They hand it off. And Burrell with a good run to the 42. Able to gain 5 yards. Maybe just about 6, as Buchanan and Cardoza have been primary running backs for Bethany this season, but starting to see Burrell get it churning a little bit. Won't get the carry this time. It's a quick pass on the RPO, caught by Moffitt. First down for Elijah Moffitt, the 6'4" tight end from Atlanta. Makes it to midfield.
Man, Moffitt just looks the part for a tight end. Just a really big player and big-time target for Brett Phillips. And sometimes Bethany really likes to just get those tight ends on those quick flat routes and just giving them an opportunity to run. And they missed on the opportunity on the first drive, and they were able to capitalize this time.
They bring Colucci on the blitz. Phillips delivers downfield, and it's incomplete. In a double coverage, looking for Jacob Burns. There is a flag. Multiple flags come into the backfield. As Phillips was brought down by Colucci, and
after play, personal foul, offense, number 75, 15-yard penalty, down counts.
So Colucci and Campbell were involved there with Elijah Morgan Washington, the left tackle, who ends up being called for the penalty. And we'll back up the Bison 15 yards. I think Alex maybe was just trying to protect his quarterback here after Phillips delivered the pass and took a shot that looked high to the head. Campbell, it seemed like he got his right arm in on the head of Phillips here, and kind of hard to tell there, but I think that's what drew the reaction from Morgan Washington. They hand it off. Maybe 2 on the carry. So it'll be 3rd down and very long, needing to get to the Allegheny 40.
And then this is kind of what stalls an offense the most, is just those, you get a fresh set of downs, and the first down play is a penalty. And especially as a sportsman, like where you lose 15 yards and just make it almost impossible to pick up the next set of sticks.
Phillips on 3rd and 23. They try to set up a screen. Phillips is able to avoid the first rush. Now rolls out far side. Phillips is not going to get away. He throws it onto the back of an offensive lineman while he was still in the pocket. Braden Larry's running down the field trying to see if there's going to be an intentional grounding penalty, and there is a flag thrown, as Phillips was definitely going to be sacked that time as the rush continued to pursue.
Intentional grounding. Quarterback. Ball be placed at the spot of the foul. Loss of down.
And it will spot the ball at the 26 as Colucci and Campbell are in there again to force the pressure.
And you just see Brett Phillips just trying to make something happen. He sees 2 defenders in his face. He knows he's going to get tackled. Just tries to flip it out there and see if he can somehow get an incompletion instead of that long sack. But unfortunately, now you got your 4th and 23 set up.
C.J. Gissentanner also in on the pressure, who was relegated to a backup role today with Fletcher Hammond, the senior, starting. Almost blocked off the edge, and it'll be Larry taking it from the 35. This time he will return it. Have some space. Larry evades a couple of defenders, and Larry is brought down as he reaches the 45 with 9:43 remaining in the first half of play. Allegheny up 14-0 and looking for more. Back to Meadville in a moment.
Now is the time. Today is the day for us to strike out and move forward in confidence and faith.
Stay connected with all the action. Follow JRM Sports on X, Instagram, and YouTube. Get the latest highlights, exclusive content, and behind-the-scenes moments from your favorite sports. Don't miss a second. Follow us today.
15-10, lock-in, touchdown. High pass is caught. He's got it. What a play. And it's a foot race.
Thanks
for fixing the door.
I was nervous about that lock.
To your family, you are more than just your income.
What would she do without me? She'd probably have to marry our next door neighbor, Todd.
Well, Todd, I have no feelings for you whatsoever, but I'm going to have to say I do. I can't afford a handyman.
Gotta get some life insurance.
Although you're irreplaceable, a life insurance policy from GBU Life can provide the financial security your family needs for a secure future. To get started, visit gbu.org.
Ball at the 45-yard line after the return from Devin Larry for the Allegheny offense. Off to a solid start. And it's been the ground game with Dominic Baraducci. That's been the main force in the matchup so far. Siska to throw. All day for Siska. Taking a shot. He has a wide open man. It's Geiswhite. Geiswhite will walk into the end zone. Touchdown. Allegheny. Chris Geiswhite. 2 touchdowns in the game. What a throw from Sean Siska. Geiswhite streaking wide open over the middle of the field. And Braden Layer called him the best pure passer on the team. A great throw by the freshman Siska. So we mentioned how Chris Geiswhite had only 1 receiving touchdown and he had 3 passing touchdowns on the year. Well, now he's tied up with 2 receiving touchdowns, the senior on senior day. With the extra point, up and good from Olsen. 21-0. Allegheny extends its lead. It's been all Gators at the home of the Gators at Allegheny College. And, well, there's been a lot of quarterback instability for Allegheny. Maybe they found something, Alex.
And like you said, it all comes through Chris Geiswhite, who's going to run this really deep post down the center of the field. And his corner, number 24, just seems like he's playing zone coverage and just bails. And then Geiswhite just creates that center of the field wide open. And it's just a great throw from Siska. And when you play it, you see Geiswhite gets a great jump off the football. No one follows him. He just splits that zone right in 2. And he's just wide open for the touchdown. Great throw from the freshman.
Yeah, Monty Phillips, the junior corner, just seems like he lost the step of where Geiswhite was. And the safeties, Adams and Rispa, nowhere to be found as was a deep route, basically 4 verticals type of pattern, and they're able to connect.
And that's just a busted coverage, and you just see a lot of miscommunications on the back end. No safety that's rolling over. That corner's got that deep quarter of the field, but instead the safety's just nowhere to be found, like you said. And as a young quarterback, if you're able to exploit those break plays, then you're definitely going to be successful, and that's a great throw by the freshman.
A fair catch was called for, but it's a muff kick that rolls out of bounds. The Gators potentially had another opportunity to take advantage of a Bethany miscue. But it will be 1st and 10 at the 20 as the troubles continue for the Bison. It just went right through the hands of Beersing. Unfortunately, it went out of bounds. Phillips to throw. High throw, but it's caught on a spin move made by Davis to pick up the first down. He's able to gain 13. Michael Davis, the sophomore. Now 25 catches on the air. He's over 300 yards receiving in the 2025 season. To the 33 they go. Phillips will keep it and run. Phillips met as he approached the 40, brought down at the 39. Ran into a couple of different defenders, including Fletcher Hammond, senior from Deer Lakes, who was a captain and has been battling an ankle injury, has really dealt with a lot over the last 2 years. To be able to get onto the field and to see him out there making plays. As Phillips on a swing pass. It's caught. Burrell breaks off a tackle and scampers to midfield as the flag comes in late.
on the play.
So we'll take the penalty marker right near midfield. And where Morrell stepped out.
3 to run, holding, offense number 11. 10 yards from spot of the foul, replay, second down.
So they get Elijah Moffitt, the tight end, for the penalty. And these are just things, Alex, that are drive killers. Sacks, negative plays, penalties. Bethany has just not been able to get out of its own way today.
And the negative plays stem from having a quarterback that likes to just move around and try and make the plays happen. And sometimes you go for that big reward, but a lot of times you're taking a lot of risks, a lot of negative plays that just stall your offense.
Phillips, downfield, incomplete. Good coverage by David Williams, one-on-one with Jacoby Jones.
It seems like Brett Phillips is really trying to go deep along these plays and try and get all of it in one go. It just doesn't seem like these receivers are really looking for the football. And as soon as that ball is already right in front of their face, they just turned around looking for it. And it just doesn't seem like there's a lot of connections between the quarterback and receivers here. Brett Phillips missing the first half of the season due to an injury, the first 4 games of the season due to an injury. And I guess it's just been really hard, tough sledding, getting back together.
Phillips on third down. Delivers, and a pass that is hauled in by Jacob Burns. It picks up a first down and gains 4 as Burns sits down right at the 44. It looked like the ball was close to skipping to him, but Phillips had just enough on it. I think he caught it a little bit with his legs.
It definitely seems like he got a little bit lucky there. Doesn't seem like the ball hit the ground, but definitely went off his legs.
Hand it off to Burrell. Burrell breaks free. Is dragged forward for a first down. He was carried ahead by Campbell. Campbell basically slung him for another 3 gift yards.
You gotta love the production you're getting from number 32. Burrell not really on the 2-deep roster, but just getting a lot of carries today.
Phillips delivers, and a pass that is caught, and stumbling down to the 10 is Jones. It's actually Huriel Khalees. That was the one that ended up having that drag tackle that we've seen a couple of times. Tackles made with the jersey, right up by the shoulder pad area. Gain of 4 on first down. Quickly to the line for Bethany. Quick pass. Jones. Down to the 36. And would have gained 4, and starting to see Bethany use the no-huddle offense and starting to find a little bit more on the offensive side. Under 7 left in the half. 3rd and 2. Phillips on the RPO, hands it off. Didn't look like he was able to get there as Khalees and Colucci were in there on the carry. And it will be 4th down.
And this is obviously a must-go here for Bethany, going up to the line. But these cowbells don't stop for Allegheny.
The cowbells do not stop. The loudest the cowbells have been, a staple at Allegheny. On 4th down and 1, Phillips keeps. Phillips delivers, incomplete. Was no one in the area as Jacob Burns was the closest man, but Phillips threw it about 10 yards over his head.
And that's kind of the problem that you run into when you have a team that primarily works out of the shotgun. When you get those short yardages, you can only really give it to the running back, and Brett Phillips just didn't really like what he saw on the line of scrimmage, but instead elects to come all the way around and just throw something up.
Well, because Allegheny crashed down on Burrell, and it seemed like Phillips maybe had a lane, but Khalees did a good job of keeping contained, forced the throw, was able to get a hand up as well, then ended up forcing the errant pass. Where Allegheny will take over, and really, Alex, they could score on this drive trying to deliver a knockout punch.
And that's just kind of the woes that you've seen with the Bethany Bison team. And it's just stuff that just keeps repeating itself with penalties and then with a lot of negative plays, and not being able to convert on those types of plays is really big. And it forces a lot more pressure on your defense.
They tried to send Mitchell in motion as the play clock was expiring.
False start, offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty remains, first down.
And they get on for a false start, the senior from Fresno, Texas.
Ball at the 30-yard line. Siska, your quarterback, Baraducci, the lone setback.
Siska definitely has a lot of talent. He hands it off to Baraducci. It was able to gain about 2-3 yards. It's a young team in lots of different areas. Devin Larry is a sophomore. Yes, Geis White is senior, and Taryn Mitchell a junior, but just 10 seniors. Will Griffin also factors into the passing game at tight end. So there are a lot of pieces with Baraducci, a sophomore as well. Philip Sampson also factors into the running game, and Debron Smith. A lot of pieces that are going to return for Braden Lair and Allegheny next season.
And that's how you build a program, and you just make sure that the positive pieces at the end of the season remain with you over the course of the offseason and then into the next season, instead of having guys constantly coming in and out.
And Allegheny would be +3 in the win column. We're able to win today's game as Siska looks to take a shot, looking for Larry, fighting back for the football. No flag. Sideline was looking for one as Larry was battling with Khalil Berry, the senior corner.
And they get Devin Larry on a little bit of a double move, a little out and up, trying to see if they can get some separation. He does have a little bit of a step, but that's just great coverage there on the back end for Allegheny. I'm sorry, for Bethany.
Yeah, Berry did put his hands up at the end as there was some contact as Larry was trying to fight back to the ball, but just not enough as the ball was underthrown. And it kind of fluttered near the end too.
And Berry does a good job of pushing his receiver towards the sideline and creating that short of a throwing lane.
Mitchell in motion on 3rd and 13. Siska to throw. Steps up, delivers, passes, caught. Geis White should be good enough for a first down, but where will forward progress put him? He's still fighting for it. Where Geis White made the catch was at the 45-yard line, but when he came back for the ball and continued to fight, the referees deemed that his forward progress was not stopped. He was still going, so they slot him down at the 42. But Geis White went right to the sticks, did the right thing, but when he continued his effort there, that's what's obviously going to end up being deemed him still trying to move upfield.
First of all, that's a great hands catch by Geis White, but it just doesn't seem like he makes a move up the field. He catches that ball and immediately corrals it, and then Bethany gets that initial push, and I guess the officials just deem that as not progressing forward.
Punt is away with a fair catch called for at the 27. It's kind of like when Deontay Johnson would catch the ball and run backwards for a couple of yards, trying to move upfield for a couple or more. Some lopsided scores around the conference with Grove City up on Hiram 28-0 as we close out the regular season. W&J 53-0. The conference champs cementing their dominance this season. Westminster up on St. Vincent as well at Checknell Field 34-0. Geneva, how about Gino DeMarco? The farewell tour 30-9. There's a possibility that Gino might join us in the booth next year. He said that multiple times. Do we actually believe him?
I don't know. Gino DeMarco just seems like he's a football coach till the day he dies. And even though he's stepping down as the head coach, I don't think he's going to be done coaching at all.
Pass is caught by Davis. He's able to gain 12 to the 40-yard line.
You know, you just think about those football coaches, and especially Gino, who's coached for over 30 years, and you just think that he just want to give up all of that football, and he's just a guy that just eats, sleeps, and breathes football, and I just don't think that he's going to be taking a break from coaching anytime soon.
Pass is caught by Jermaine Beersing and is able to gain 6. And Gino keeps telling us it's not a retirement, it's a reassignment. So he's still going to try to be around. He's not fully retiring.
Just taking a little step back, right? Just give him a little bit of a less of a nervous feeling on game day, I guess.
And, I mean, the position that he has put the program in this year, Caleb Romano, the style of offense that they're running now, one-on-one downfield incomplete as, once again, good coverage by Williams as they were looking for Davis. It'll set up 3rd and 3. It was one of the top offenses statistically in the entire country. Caleb Romano.
He was second on the all-time passing list, and that doesn't include this week, but, man, he's just one person can clearly change what a program looks like, what an offense looks like. And to go from a triple option team that runs the ball 99% of the time to a team that throws the ball 99% of the time, when you have a quarterback like him, it's a lot easier to make that transition.
Truly impressive. Great seasons by Keaton Baker, Seth Tyson, Crumbacher in that receiving core as they hand it off to Burrell. Burrell fights for a first down. Needed 3, picks up 4 in an Allegheny territory. So 3:25 remaining on the clock and 2 timeouts to work with for Bethany, plus the 2-minute timeout. Fletcher Hammond made the stop. Tried to grab him just shy, but Burrell able to fight his way forward as They bring a blitz. Phillips not able to corral the snap, now picks it up, and Phillips will run out of bounds. He scampers for just a couple. They'll mark him out after a pickup of 2.
Another dangerous play, and you just kind of worry about where these negative plays are coming from. And Brett Phillips, that snap's just a little too high for him on the right side where he's trying to make the handoff.
They really snapped it in between both players.
And then he's able to somehow pick it up and still make a positive gain out of it.
Jacob Burns at the near side was signaling over the sideline with some confusion.
False start, offense, number 2.
He's the one called for the false start.
5-yard penalty, second down.
That will bring up 2nd and 13 here for Bethany.
How about some snow on the ground? Some snow in Meadville earlier this week.
Looks like a arena football here, just because you have all the walls around of snow.
All shoveled off to the side. The Pittsburgh area is only seeing like a couple of snowflakes, but the snow comes early at Allegheny. Second and 13 for Phillips. That's time, delivers out of bounds. No one on that side. He took a big shot from Drew Evans. Phillips slow to get up. Yeah, that just seemed like an unnecessary shot from Evans. And after Phillips got the ball away, it'll cost them 15.
And so we're just going back and forth with penalties. It's just these personal fouls at the end of the play is even worse just because of how much it dramatically changes the field position for both teams. And this is Bethany's best field position they've had all day long. It's just with 2 minutes left to go in this first half, they just need to get some points on the board, and definitely has to be 6.
The penalty moves the ball up to the 37-yard line of Allegheny. They line up 3 receivers to the near side, and Vernon Robinson is going to call timeout. So Bethany has 1 remaining, 2:20 to work with, plus the 2-minute timeout. There's a ton of sophomores in this class for Bethany, including its primary receivers, Burns, Davis, and Biersing, all sophomores. A ton of players on the defensive side of the ball as well. Alex Beaver, the center, and that's Brandon Robinson. Is that a group that you want to try to be able to build around? And he said, well, I guess it is a young team, and every recruiting class is different, but hoping that that one can make a big difference for them. And we talked about how Brett Phillips Jr. missed 3 games. They were focused on growth when he was out. And Trent Huffman, the fellow junior from West Union, West Virginia, was in. Phillips on the season is thrown for over 1,400 yards, 11 touchdowns, but has turned it over as well. But it's their leading rusher. And when you see your quarterback as your leading passer and your leading rusher, that could be good in some instances, but it also points to the ineffectiveness of the ground game for Bethany, and at times being one-dimensional. As Burrell is able to gain a first down and
Burrell with the carry.
Take the struggles away on that play for 15.
And Burrell's just been a complete difference maker for this Bethany team, and he's really added that run offense dimension that they really haven't had in the last couple weeks.
2-minute timeout with Allegheny leading 21-0, but Bethany threatening to take the 0 off the board and score before the break.
Quiet on set? No way. This is Jake's time to shine, and Ryan's, and our crew. Cameras, check. Drones, check. Checking that shot we just checked? Double check. We ain't got time to chill. We're out here capturing this action. This is when we get to work, to bring you every moment live, no matter what. Broadcasting changes everything. Transform how you experience the game with JRM Video Production.
Hey, Ma, where's the dock?
It's in the garage.
Oh, yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Today is the day. Let's take a quick look at the weather and traffic. It's a chilly 22 degrees out there, so bundle up. We'll be hanging out all day, so don't forget to stop by and see us, grab some hot chocolate, and support a great cause.
house is just 4 walls, but a home, that's something more. At Your Town Realty, we don't just work here, we live here. We're small by choice, with deep roots and real relationships that go beyond transactions. And because this city means so much to us, we give back, year after year. It's not about being the biggest, it's about being the one that feels like home. Your Town Realty, locally owned, community grown.
First down for Bethany. With no snow falling today, but is on the ground on the outstretched parts of the field. With the Bison trying to score for the first time. And Phillips looking towards the end zone. The pass is intercepted. David Williams off the deflection takes it away. It was batted around a couple of times. And David Williams has his 4th pick. Williams, who's tied for second in the PAC in passes defended, 12 coming into the day, has the interception.
It just seems like Brett Phillips thought that they got them to jump off sides and just decided to take another free play. But once again, this is the second time this happened this game where Phillips just assumes that they jumped off sides and thinks he has a free play and throws it up. And this time it's a turnover. And David Williams has been one of those guys that has always been a great secondary piece for Allegheny. And now comes up big for them.
And David Williams last year did not play, was not eligible to suit up for the Gators. And Braden Lair said there was really good support around him last year and able to get him back this season, and it's paid dividends. Really strong corner. Comes to lock down one side of the field as Siska will throw it away.
Nowhere to go with that. Siska tosses it out of bounds.
David Williams, a very valuable, now veteran piece of this defense. At the 12 passes defended. Double-digit pass breakups. A couple tackles for loss. Now 4 picks and 45 tackles on the season. So Allegheny, 3 timeouts to work with. 1:40 on the clock. Holding a 21-0 lead. Siska rolls out near side. Delivers open man. It's Geisweit, and he tiptoes out of bounds. Geisweit able to make it to the 30. Yeah, they'll mark him at the 28. And it gains 16 yards on second down.
And as a young quarterback, you just latch onto that one receiver that you just feel so comfortable with. And Geisweit has been that for a lot of these Allegheny quarterbacks. Senior, veteran. Might not be the most talented player in this receiving core, but definitely the most reliable and just gets the most open.
Siska to throw. Siska under pressure, loses the football, and Bethany has it. The Bison are able to recover. Ball is taken away by Cam Bailey, able to fall on it after it was knocked away from Siska, trying to step up in the pocket, but lost control.
Siska tries to keep his eyes downfield, maneuvers around the pocket, but that's a great punch out, and that ball just ends up on the ground, and Cam Bailey able to scoop that up. And that's the type of turnover that you need for Bethany to give your offense, once again, its best starting field position.
That was Amarian Williams, who's been quiet today, but is the best defensive player by far for the Bison. His 4th fumble of the season as Phillips has time, surveys, delivers to the sideline. Pass is caught, big hit delivered out of bounds on the reception made for Beersing.
But also you said Amarian Williams able to jar that ball loose, and Coach Lair said that he warned his quarterback that Williams kind of plays a little slow, and he just looks for that punch out. He looks for that big play. He's not going to fly up the field and try and create pressure initially, but ends up just lurking around and then finding a way to attack, and that time he does.
Leads the team in tackles for loss, sacks, and forced fumbles. As Burrell gets the carry. And he's dragged down after just a short gain.
And now it's all up to Bethany to finally capitalize on some good field position and also just make sure that Allegheny does not have a chance to put their offense back out on the field.
Robbie Janis was on the tackle to set up 2nd down and 9 inside a minute, and Harry Calise drags down Burrell at the line of scrimmage. No gain. It might lose a yard. Back to the initial line. It will. We'll mark it 3rd down and 10 with 45 seconds left. And Harry Calise having a really strong day for Allegheny. Matt Handhold's defense, 3-4 defense. Trying to keep Bethany off the board before halftime. Phillips under pressure. He goes down. Robbie Janis on the sack. His first of the season for the freshman who started the year at running back. Now playing at outside linebacker, is becoming a key defensive player.
That's just amazing pressure there on the outside. And that was such a big play for Allegheny to put Bethany in a really hard position. Now with 2 seconds left in the game, they call that timeout. And now Bethany's looking to either take a shot at the end zone or an even longer field goal.
Yeah, 4th down and 10, 3 seconds remaining on the clock, officially 2.7. So Caden Langley is 3 of 4 on the season. A 37-yarder is his long. This would be about a 42, 43-yard field goal if they wanted to attempt it. It would be a new season long for the sophomore. Would you kick it or would you go?
I think at this point, down 3 scores, you just got to go for it. You get a great turnover on defense. You just got to throw it all out there. It's the last game of the season. Really have nothing to lose at this point. You're trying to give yourself some momentum going in the second half. You just kind of want to let Brett Phillips just do his thing, but they pull out the kicking unit, and Caden Langley is going to attempt a pretty substantial field goal here.
They will kick it. So it'll be officially a 42-yard field goal for Caden Langley. Adams to hold. Langley's kick is up, and Langley's kick is off to the left. No good. Langley not able to convert as Bethany is held off the board. Allegheny with a great start to the game. A 21-0 lead. As the kick just missed for Langley, as he was trying to knock in the points. And so far, it's been all Gators, as Bethany really hasn't been able to get much going offensively. That was one of their best drives, but the sack stalls off the drive. And in a situation like that, where you're trying to kick the field goal, have confidence in your kicker. He had the distance, but
clearly had the leg, and
yeah, had it wide.
The decision is not the worst with pulling out your kicker, just trying to keep that 0 off the board. But I mean, you like to think that you just want to be aggressive and try and go for potentially a longer pass play to get something on offense, but just trying to settle for the field goal, and unfortunately that just missed just off to the side. And now you're back with the 0 on the board, and you weren't being aggressive at the end of the half.
21-0, Allegheny leads Bethany as we have reached halftime. Stay tuned for our PAC top plays of the week and our spotlight interview yet to come from Frank Beefier Field in Meadville.
In every corner of KD Country.
Reporting in Monongahela.
In Derry Township, Westmoreland County.
Wherever news happens that impacts you.
This is a live video from McKeesport.
Your community.
Crews are on the scene of a large water main break in Banksville.
Your family.
We're a community. You know, taxpayers, our children go to the school district.
You can count on KDKA to be there.
Reporting in Aliquippa.
In Clareton.
In Wilkinsburg.
Reporting in Center Township.
Watch KDKA TV News.
Miller's Mini Storage has the extra room you need. For more than 3 decades, our storage facility in Elizabeth, PA has offered secure, affordable, and accessible storage solutions. Miller's Mini Storage has you covered. Simply bring a lock and key and keep your items safe at our location. New insulated units are available with dawn to dusk access. Storing with us is easy and convenient. Visit millersministorage.com today and reserve your space. Miller's Mini Storage, your space, your way.
Trout Plumbing is a registered and insured master plumber that services the South Hills. They offer a variety of services, including camera inspection and dye testing. Trout Plumbing also offers a veteran and senior citizen discount. When in doubt, call the Trout at 412-983-8106.
At Laway, we understand the power of personalization. From hats to water bottles, our expert services include screen printing, embroidery, and a variety of promotional items. We also specialize in team sports gear. What truly sets Laway apart is our dedicated design team, including our talented on-staff graphic designers and exponential customer service. Choose Laway to make a lasting impression on and off the field.
From heating and cooling to a large array of construction equipment, Herc Rentals has the gear you need to get the job done. Herc Rentals is already a staple in several communities across the United States and Canada and have been serving our customers' needs since 1965. With a catalog of equipment that spans the spectrum of almost every kind of solution you can think of. To learn more about Herc Rentals, visit hercrentals.com or call us at 1-888-777-2700.
Welcome back to KDK Plus. You're watching our PAC Game of the Week. Austin Bechtel joined alongside Allegheny linebacker Fletcher Hammond. Fletcher, great to be with you. First and foremost, just want to ask about your football journey and your career. How have you gotten here to your senior year with the Gators?
So I started playing football when I was 6, so this is my 15th year of football. It's been a huge part of my life for as long as I can remember. I played football with my brother, so that also helped. And then going into Allegheny, it kind of wasn't really on my radar, and then I found out that I was comparing every other school to Allegheny and realizing that Allegheny was just that much better in all these different aspects of the game. So that's what made me pick Allegheny, and I wouldn't regret it one bit. I just love it.
Did you play any other sports growing up that have helped you in your football journey?
Yeah, I played football, baseball, basketball whenever I was younger, and then in high school I played football and track, ran a little bit, threw a little bit of javelin.
You talked a little bit about some of the other schools that you were looking at ultimately when you wanted to make your decision. What were some of those key reasons why Allegheny was number one?
Allegheny had I'm double majoring in neuroscience and psychology, so I know that was possible at Allegheny. And I also know that they're just prestigious in their academics as well as they have a historic football franchise. So
That's really significant academics. How are you able to balance that with playing football as well?
I don't know. I just work, man. I don't really think about everything that I have to do. It's just something that I need to do, and I don't really get caught up in all the stresses about it.
Is that some hard work that was instilled in you as a child from your family and mentors?
Yeah, I mean, I could say I could probably learn from my parents and my brother and all throughout life. I mean, I don't really think there's one thing that specifically helped me with this. It's probably a culmination of things.
So take us a little bit behind the curtain. What's it like being an Allegheny football player?
Well, it's fantastic. Meadville is a special place. I love being in Meadville. Allegheny is great. The relationship that you get with the professors and the coaches is second to none, and just the honor that it comes with being from a school that has a national championship it's phenomenal.
Coach Lair's third season, what is your relationship like with him, and what's the culture that he continues to build now in year 3?
Coach Lair is fantastic. I mean, from the second that he stepped in, it's that we're going to win and we're going to build something special here. And you know, every time I talk with Coach Lair, I learn something new about football, and it's just he's great.
Talking to Allegheny linebacker Fletcher Hammond here on KDK Plus. So what has been one of your favorite memories so far wearing that uniform?
So I have a couple. My first one that comes to mind is whenever it was the last game of the year, my freshman year, and I had a strip sack against Bethany, and my brother picked up the fumble. So that was pretty cool. And then also my very first collegiate game, I had like an 8-yard tackle for loss. So that was also like a welcome to college football moment for me.
How influential has your brother been for you?
I mean, arguably the most influential. I've looked up to him in every aspect of not only football, academics, life in general, and also my parents pushing us to work harder, work with each other, and push each other along the way. It's been great.
So you're from Deer Lakes. You've played against and with a lot of guys that have played in the WPIAL. What's that like? Is it a further extension of some of those rivalries from high school football?
The Whippeal is definitely special. I mean, I argue with people all the time that the Whippeal is the toughest high school football in the nation, but obviously Texas is up there. But yeah, no, it's great to see kids that you play against in high school on the other side in college too. So it's pretty cool.
What do you enjoy most about the campus at Allegheny?
The relationships, people. I mean, the people that I'm living with now is the same people that I lived with and hung out with freshman year, and we all stuck around and have a great time together. And
once you graduate, what are your future plans? You talked about your major a little bit. What do you want to dabble into coming up in the next year plus?
Yeah, so I'm going to be applying to PhD programs for clinical psych with like a specialty in neuropsych, and hopefully in the future I can become a neuropsychologist, helping people with concussions, because we deal with plenty of those in football.
Yeah, is that one reason why? Because of football, and have you seen that firsthand? Is that one reason that you've been influenced to study this?
Yeah, so whenever I was in high school, I had a couple concussions that I just don't remember the day, and that kind of sparked like my interest in like the brain and behavior and everything like that. And then I got the opportunity to job shadow a neuropsychologist at the Art Rooney complex in Pittsburgh, and that was just like everything that I kind of was looking forward to, helping patients with treatments and getting back to feeling normal and everything. So,
what are your internal goals this year, and what really the legacy that you want to leave on the program?
I know I mentioned this in the interview, but it's not really a personal goal. I would just want to leave Allegheny in a better spot to be successful in the future. That's pretty much it. I mean, there's nothing personal. I don't need stats. I just want my teammates to get better week in and week out, and I want the program to be better because of it.
How do you think that the program can build towards that this year?
I think younger kids stepping up and building on the leadership that we have built over the past couple years, and just taking in the standard that Coach Lair is setting here.
To your friends and family watching, what would you like to say to them as you go into your senior year?
Thank you guys for all the support. It's been great, and I couldn't have gotten here without you guys.
Fletcher Hammond, linebacker for Allegheny, our player of the day to talk to here on KDK Plus in our Spotlight series.
John Shumway is the utmost, most passionate transportation reporter in Western Pennsylvania. He could almost be a traffic engineer. How do I need to get to where I need to go? Should I leave early? And he makes sure that people understand what's important to them. His experience in the Pittsburgh area and his familiarity with all of the roads, John becomes almost an extension of our staff, getting the message out there.
Watch John Shumway on the KDKA TV Morning News.
Complicated payment processing slowing you down? Tired of the same old event management system? Wishing your donation campaigns could run themselves? We can help. Whether you're with a corporation, EMS agency, fire department, school, or small business, eServices Payment Technology has something for you. What started as a top-notch payment processing system has turned into a digital phenomenon. Digital payments, membership management, fund drive optimization, marketing consulting, and reserved seating. Yes, schools, I'm talking to you. If you have a payment, we have a simplified process. Visit eServicesStack.com today to organize your organization.
Pittsburgh, get ready to see PPG Pace Arena like never before. PPG Pace Arena tours take you behind the scenes of the home of the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is your chance to step inside the Penguins locker room and feel the history of the 5-time Stanley Cup champs. See the ice from a player's point of view and go where legendary broadcasters called the biggest moments in Penguins history. From championship stories to behind-the-scenes secrets, this tour is the ultimate Penguins experience. Visit ppgpacearena.com and book your tour today.
A house is just 4 walls, but a home, that's something more. At Your Town Realty, we don't just work here, we live here. We're small by choice, with deep roots and real relationships that go beyond transactions. And because this city means so much to us, we give back, year after year. It's not about being the biggest, it's about being the one that feels like home. Your Town Realty, locally owned, community grown.
Stay connected with all the action. Follow JRM Sports on X, Instagram, and YouTube. Get the latest highlights, exclusive content, and behind-the-scenes moments from your favorite sports. Don't miss a second. Follow us today.
Students come to Westminster with goals as unique as we are. Some know the career we want, like Jaheim, who's going to be a physical therapist. Some know the major we want, like Tori, a double major in marketing and math. And for some, the goal is figuring it out, like Mia, who found a great fit and exciting career path as a psychology major. But no matter how we get here, we all graduate the same way, ready to succeed. Westminster College. Real experiences, real success.
20, 15, 10, lock in, touchdown. High pass is caught. He's got it. What a play. And it's a foot race.
Welcome inside the studio. I'm Ethan Spazarski, and it's halftime at Frank B. Feuer Field in Meadville, PA, as the Gators are playing host to the Bethany Bison. As we close out our coverage for the 2025 PAC football season, we wanted to take a moment to look back on some of the biggest moments, biggest plays, and standout performances across the conference. So sit back and enjoy, because it's time for our PAC top 10 plays from the season. Let's take a look. At number 10, we throw it back to week 1, where St. Vincent wide receiver Tristan Doy hauled in the solid catch, but then recreated his best Walter Payton impression, sliding, bobbing, and weaving through all the defenders to get the score and the win over Hilbert College. Throwing it to number 9, we have Breck Peacock catching this pass from Sutton Ellis down the sideline, as it's Peacock with the foot race with the Geneva defender, but with the help of Sam Penna, Peacock gets into the end zone for the Grove City touchdown. At number 8 of the top 10 plays, we're in Greenville, PA, when Waynesburg came into town. Along with that came wide receiver Elijah Jackson, who collected this pass, not only just running it, but also juking and hurdling his way into the end zone for the 46-yard touchdown over the Teal Tomcats. Moving on to number 7, we're staying here with this Grove City offense, and more specifically Sutton to Seth McGroarty. This time it was a play-action pass over the middle for the field that caps off a 61-yard touchdown reception. Number 6 is with the best passing offense in all of the PAC, the Geneva Golden Tornadoes, as Caleb Romano goes to Luke Crumbaker as he flashes the speed going past the Shenandoah defenders to cap off a one-play, 70-yard drive for Geneva. We've reached the midway point in today's segment, with the number 5 play being in Waynesburg, and after a 4-hour rain delay between the Yellow Jackets and the Terriers, it comes down to the very last play, and Marcus Crum Jr. shines through for the game-winning interception and his second one of the game. The number 4 play is going to be Gianna DeSora of the Westminster Titans in his 83-yard punt return here versus the Teal Tomcats, where he was able to run across the field, then streak down the sideline for the special teams touchdown for Westminster as he helped defeated Teal 48-6. Play number 3 of our top 10 play rewind is taking us back to Waynesburg as a special teams player Ethan Floyd blocks the St. Vincent Bearcats punt and takes the high hopping bounce into the end zone for the Waynesburg tie, as the game was tied against St. Vincent at 7. The number 2 play this year belongs to the PAC champion Washington and Jefferson Presidents, as Kellen Stahl heaves one up to Jacob McCosco, who makes the contested catch, scooping it over the Geneva defender and falling his way into the end zone for an impressive 43-yard touchdown. And now the #1 play this year, it's going to go to the Grove City Wolverines in their 80-yard blocked field goal when hosting Waynesburg in Grove City, PA. Noah Wheeler's the guy to pick up the block punt and race it all the way down the field for the Wolverine defensive touchdown. That'll do it for our PAC top 10 plays this season. Incredible performances all year long across the President's Athletic Conference. Don't forget, you can watch all the games, player spotlights, and more on JRM Sports. Now, let's send it back to Meadville, PA, where Austin and Alex have your first half stats and highlights. Guys.
Thank you, Ethan. Back inside the broadcast booth, Austin Bechtold and Alex Terton, a 21-0 game as Bethany tried to convert on a field goal right at the end of the half, but was unsuccessful. So the Bison have been left on the board, off the board. What are your first half thoughts?
And it's just kind of the third down conversions. Both teams are combined 2 of 13 converting on third down. If Allegheny not converting on third down at all, and they're up 21-0. But it's the story of this game has been Don Baraducci, and he already has 90 yards in this first half, and he's been kind of the only sense of life on offense on both sides of the ball, except for a couple throws from Siska.
Yeah, and Siska being able to connect with Geiswhite twice into the end zone has been significant, as Geiswhite has found it twice, once on a short pass, once on a deep pass. That has been the successful offensive plays for the Allegheny Gators in what is the final game of the year, looking to try to make it 500 in conference play. As we take a look at some of our first half stats, where the total yards being dominated by Allegheny with over 100 compared to the Bison. Bethany has moved the ball well at times, but we saw the bad snap on the punt that was recovered by Allegheny. The turnovers on either side really haven't been too much of a factor. Allegheny did score on the Bethany turnover, but Bethany not able to convert on the one that Allegheny gave it, and the penalties are pretty even. It's just been Allegheny taking advantage of opportunities and Bethany giving Allegheny opportunities.
And a very sloppy game on both sides of the ball, each with 95 total penalties between the both of them, and Bethany with 50 and Allegheny with 45 of their own, and a lot of them have been pre-snap penalties. And you can see Caden Langley watching the ball go over his head in the first half, and that's a first turnover that Allegheny got.
Yeah, and as we take a look at some of the biggest plays so far of the game, it was that punt that ended up Geiswhite and Siska connecting on to fully take advantage from 5 yards away. Extra point from Olsen was up and good. Don Baraducci, a 49-yard rushing touchdown as he broke multiple tacklers, evaded defenders, and when he got to this portion of the field past the 30, it was just a foot race to see who would get there first, and it was Baraducci scampering into the end zone. Then Sean Siska finding Chris Geiswhite from 55 yards away. The final touchdown of the half with 9:34 still remaining in the second quarter. Geiswhite helped to convert, and it was Bethany trying to score late. Had a couple opportunities. David Williams took it away off the interception, plus the missed field goal to keep it at the 21-0 score, where we will remain at the start of the second half for the opening kickoff of the third quarter of play. Coming up in a moment from Allegheny.
KDKA is ready at a moment's notice, wherever the story takes us.
Vehicles stuck near Myersdale, Somerset County. The mayor here tells me this is some of the worst flooding he has ever seen.
KDKA TV, your home for breaking news.
If you need insurance, you need an agency that's sharp. The Sharp Insurance Agency is an independent agency and distinguish themselves by providing face-to-face customer service and reviewing coverage to provide the best possible value for their clients.
Hi, I'm Mike Sharp. Lean on my years of experience in the Pittsburgh area to find you the best insurance coverage, because when insurance companies compete, you win.
The Sharp Insurance Agency. Contact us today to have your personal or business insurance professionally reviewed.
At Laway, we understand the power of personalization. From hats to water bottles, our expert services include screen printing, embroidery, and a variety of promotional items. We also specialize in team sports gear. What truly sets Laway apart is our dedicated design team, including our talented on-staff graphic designers and exponential customer service. Choose Laway to make a lasting impression on and off the field.
Students come to Westminster with goals as unique as we are. Some know the career we want, like Jaheim, who's going to be a physical therapist. Some know the major we want, like Tori, a double major in marketing and math. And for some, the goal is figuring it out, like Mia, who found a great fit and exciting career path as a psychology major. But no matter how we get here, we all graduate the same way, ready to succeed. Westminster College. Real experiences, real success.
20, 15, 10, lock in, touchdown. High pass is caught. He's got it. What a play, and it's a foot race.
Back for the second half. Allegheny will receive the football, up by 3 scores. Being kicked away by the Bison. And Caden Langley, who missed a field goal opportunity. It's been a story of missed opportunities for Bethany. Missed field goal, interceptions, turnovers. Lost opportunity on the punt. So it's a short kick that's taken by Griffin at the 35. And Griffin, after the catch, sets up good field position at the 42 for the Gator offense. It's an offense that averages just 22 points per game, and they're ready to try to surpass that. They give up 32 a game, but kept Bethany off the score sheet. Allegheny has won all 3 matchups since returning to the PAC, a 20-17 overtime victory at Bethany in 2022, winning at home 31-20 and 23 in last year, 20-14. So those matchups have all been pretty close. It's been a little bit of a different story today. They'll officially mark the ball at the 43 with Larry in motion towards the near side, and they will give it to him on the carry. Larry is able to spin his way back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing for Devin Larry there. Good contained by the Bison on the stop, as looks like Cam Bailey was a little bit slow to get back to the middle of the field. Amarian Williams on the tackle, but Bailey will stay in there.
And the story of the second half for Allegheny is just going to have to be keep relying on your ground game, continue to go to Baraducci, who's had a lot of success, and just don't let Siska really do too much on the offensive end with the lead that you already have.
Siska to throw. Over the middle. Open man. It's caught. Past the 40, 35. It's a foot race for Curtis. No block. And No Block is inside the 15. First catch of the day for No Block, the junior receiver from North Hills, as he's spotted at the 14.
And No Block just recognizes his own coverage, sits in the middle of that window, is able to make a man miss. He's off to the races. You just got to be a little careful, because when you have that space, someone's trying to take the football away.
Mitchell on the catch. Mitchell still going as he approaches the 5.
Pass out to Taryn Mitchell. That'll be another Allegheny Gator.
And we'll set up first down and goal. Mitchell's become a lot more active in the offense. His 23 catches entering today was second just to Devin Larry. Geiswhite was one behind him. They take Mitchell off the field for first and goal.
Take that back. It'll be 2nd and 1 now.
So they're now going to call it 2nd and 1, as originally they're signaling first and goal, but
official timeout.
now I think the officials are trying to properly spot the ball and get this all sorted out, as it is 2nd down and 1 at the 5. Geiswhite, Berkey, and Larry are the receivers. Baraducci the back on 2nd and 1. They go to Baraducci. Baraducci into the end zone for 5 yards out. Baraducci finds the end zone again for his 2nd touchdown. 22 with 2 in the score.
It just gets him over 100 yards for the game. Baraducci does a good job of finding that window, that little jump cut in the middle of that offensive line. And he hits that burst step and is immediately in the end zone.
And Sean Siska was 7 for 11, 109 yards, 2 touchdowns in the first half. Geiswhite, 5 catches, 91 yards, and 2 scores. As Devin Larry did not even have a catch in the first half. It's been A-OK for Allegheny, leading it 28-0 with 12:57 to go as the Cannons go off on Military Appreciation Day.
There's a connection between this station, these call letters, and this region that is relatively rare. A lot of us have been here for a long time, so we're not just pronouncing, here's what's happening to you. We're as invested in it as you are, for all of us in Western Pennsylvania.
Now is the time. Today is the day for us to strike out and move forward in confidence and faith.
Miller's Mini Storage has the extra room you need. For more than 3 decades, our storage facility in Elizabeth, PA has offered secure, affordable, and accessible storage solutions. Miller's Mini Storage has you covered. Simply bring a lock and key and keep your items safe at our location. New insulated units are available with dawn to dusk access. Storing with us is easy and convenient. Visit millersministorage.com today and reserve your space. Miller's Mini Storage, your space, your way.
Stay connected with all the action. Follow JRM Sports on X, Instagram, and YouTube. Get the latest highlights, exclusive content, and behind-the-scenes moments from your favorite sports. Don't miss a second. Follow us today.
Want the cheer belt for Allegheny in this matchup. They dedicated the press box earlier today in a great ceremony. The Vic press box, the press box are calling it, and it's been a celebratory day all afternoon. The Victor P. Vic Crest 60 press box. See us waving up there, Alex? Fair catch called for and made. You know, maybe I shouldn't even say this. You know what? I'm just going to avoid it. I'm not even going to say it. But you know, like, when people are on the field and they just start waving and you wonder, like, who are they waving to? Sometimes I just like to wave back. So, if, you know, maybe people see us waving on TV, people on the TV are waving back to us. I don't know. I'm kind of strange. All right, it'll be first down and 10 at the 25-yard line. I think it's just me. I don't know. Nobody should be left out if somebody's waving. Somebody wave back, yeah. Friendly hello, friendly gesture. You know, nobody will ever want me to address that ever again. So instead, it's Phillips on first down, throwing a quick pass that is caught and making a move upfield. Solid play. Now for the 42-yard line for Brooks, the freshman. It's able to gain about 18.
That's a play they had in the first half. They really gave them a spark for their drive and go right back to it. Just something quick, get the ball out of Brett Phillips' hands, and let the playmakers do the rest.
Phillips under pressure, delivers on a screen pass. Piercing makes a couple of guys miss, and he's brought down to the 45. All that work just to pick up 3. A Shank helps to make the stop.
And they do a similar play design. Get that swing pass out, but instead Phillips pump fakes that and then tries to get a screen underneath, but that Allegheny defense knew what was coming the whole time and was able to hold that to a minimal gain.
And Matt Handhold's defense typically holds up pretty well against spread teams, which we've seen a lot from Bethany with 4 receivers in the pattern out of 11 personnel, as Burrell gets the carry for 3-4 yards, but they typically struggled against 2-back sets, and Braden Lair said that, you know, in bigger teams up front that try to run the football, it's been something we have to be better on. I mean, this is a little bit different with Bethany, where they like to spread it out and throw the football, but also use the quarterback run. And on 3rd and 3, they'll hand it off. Didn't look like Burrell got there, just to the 49, was able to gain 2. But again, Huriel Khalees, who's having an incredible day, was in there on the initial pressure. It was Khalees, also Robbie Janis. 4th and 1. Allegheny shows pressure, they bring it. It's a run to the near side. First down, Burrell. Dragged down by Janis. It's rather Ryan Croston, I should say, on the tackle, who is leading tackler for the Gators, the freshman, on the stop, but not before Burrell was able to gain enough.
And he's kind of been the star of this offense all game, and Burrell's just really coming out of the shadows, getting a lot of work today. Seems like he's limping a little bit, just kind of losing a step, but still able to make some plays happen.
They give it to him again, and the flag comes in. As he was dragged down by Janis. Janis is played.
Holding, offense number 75. 10-yard penalty, replay, first down.
Janis, a freshman from Riverside High School, and a lot of times high school players play both sides of the ball. Well, Janis came in as a running back, and over the last handful of games is playing at outside linebacker and has really helped to step up. Him and Drew Evans have played a ton at outside linebacker, Croston as well. As they send Brooks in motion to the far side, and Phillips looks his way. And instead, they swing it out to Beersing. And Beersing is dragged down. Another instance of Ryan Croston bringing down Beersing by his jersey, and he throws his mouthpiece over to the sideline.
This has kind of been a common theme. Bethany offensive players just always getting dragged down by their jerseys. Maybe next season they're going to invest in some tighter fitting jerseys.
That's kind of something that we see in our Turkey Bowl game, where you just kind of grab a hoodie or you grab the hood and you just drag somebody down. Turkey Bowls will be coming up for Thanksgiving soon. So it's second down and 18. Just grab a large article of clothing and start bringing them down.
Number 78 and number 67. 5-yard penalty, second down.
On the whole right side of the line, DeSena and Stuchel called for false starts. Or when Troy Polamalu would grab an interception for the Steelers, sometimes players would try to drag him down by his hair. Whatever you could grab onto that's legal, that's not the nameplate or a face mask, pretty much up for grabs. On second and 23, Phillips, quick pass, it's caught right around midfield. A good move by Burns to move upfield as he approaches the 40.
Pass caught by number 2, Jacob Burns on the pass from Phillips.
Jacob Burns, haven't said his name a ton today, but I mean, they've been looking his direction a lot, and Brett Phillips is trying to find ways to get him the football. That time's able to find him, and you see a little shiftiness from Burns, able to get a lot more yards to make this a more manageable third down.
It's 3rd and 7 with Phillips having time. Phillips looking for a holding penalty, and it will come in as Phillips delivers downfield. It's incomplete. Solid coverage again from Williams as they were trying to find Davis, but this is coming back if Allegheny elects to accept the penalty.
Holding, offense, number 75. 10-yard penalty, replay, third down.
Which it will, to replay third down on what would have been 4th and 7 coming up after the incomplete pass.
A lot of holding penalties, and I mean, Allegheny has definitely done a great job of getting to the quarterback and making Phillips kind of get off his normal platform. But it just seems like these Bethany offensive linemen are just trying to give Phillips as much time as they can, and sometimes they got to pull the jersey and make it happen.
They have just had so much trouble blocking Drew Evans and Robbie Janis today. It's 3rd and 7, ball at midfield. Phillips over the middle, passes high, incomplete.
Pass over the middle, incomplete.
Davis was the intended target, but now the punting unit will come on. You wonder if Allegheny declined the penalty, if Bethany would have went for it on 4th and 7, but at 4th and 17. They tried to get halfway there on 3rd down to go for it on 4th, but the penalty yardage comes up crucial and the punting unit comes on. So Bethany punts it away, and it's a high kick. Fair catch called for at the 22 by Geiswipe. They'll put him at the 24 as he took a couple more steps. Yeah, mark him at the 25, and that will be where, with 8:30 left, Allegheny will take the football, and it's been a solid day for the Gators with Sean Siska at quarterback. Thought that Nick Barker potentially had a chance to go. He was kind of up in the air all week. wouldn't have played last week for Allegheny, as Nick Barker took a big hit in the first half against Westminster and felt the impact in the second half. He was dizzy and had to go to a hospital in Youngstown, but ultimately, thankfully, okay, not able to go in the game, but everything else good for him as Siska looks to take a shot. Downfield, Mitchell makes the catch! And Mitchell down the sideline, makes a move to the middle of the field to the 30, and still going, gets pushed forward to the 20-yard line. Taryn Mitchell, another good throw from Sean Siska.
You gotta like what you see here by the young freshman. Having to go through his progressions, finds Mitchell coming away all the way across the field. And you kind of thought there for a second that Mitchell was going to spring that all the way. That's a great chunk play. And that's just that preparation that Coach Laird talked about, having to really study film all week long to prepare for a team. And right now it's looking like it's paying off.
Yeah, he beat Rispa, the safety. And Siska looks to throw again. Delivers, incomplete. Looking for Remington Rossau, who just has 2 catches on the season. They had Larry open right near the pylon for about a second, but window closed when Siska started to scramble. Baraducci in the backfield on 2nd down and 10 in the pistol. Geiswhite and Baraducci both looking for the hat trick. It's a low snap from Watt that Baraducci has to go and pick up. Baraducci trying to make something out of nothing here, and it's a big loss of 12 yards back to the 32-yard line, 31. But a low snap from Watt. Just didn't get a lot on it. As Aiden Watt, when we were here earlier in the season, was snapping with his left hand. The righty who had a wrist injury early on in the season has still been banged up for a large portion of the year, but has fought his way through it. Soft freshman on 2nd and 21. Siska delivers. Has Larry open. He's got it. Tiptoes into the end zone. Touchdown, Allegheny. Devin Larry, his 10th touchdown of the year. Give him double digits.
The more and more you watch Siska play this game, the better and better he gets. Little double move on the outside. And it's just, you look for where's the coverage at. And Devin Larry able to get his feet in and get over that pylon.
Yeah,
just beats his defender.
Khalil Berry just bought the fake. And when he saw the ball in the air, basically just one of those oh no type of moments because Larry had multiple steps on him. And as long as he kept his feet in bounds, just needed one. That was the difference to score.
False start. Offense number 69. 5-yard penalty. Retry.
Jay Kaminsky on the false start will back it up 5 yards in the extra point. It's 34-0 in favor of Allegheny. Great game for the Gators. This is the most points that Allegheny has put up since its game against Juniata. Most points scored in PAC play this season. With a 35-0 lead at home on Senior Day. Devin Larry reaching the end zone.
Timeout. Media.
In every corner of KD Country.
In Wilkinsburg.
Wherever news happens that impacts you.
In Derry Township, Westmoreland County.
Your community.
Reporting in Aliquippa.
Your family.
Reporting in Center Township.
In Clareton.
Watch KDKA TV News.
At Laway, we understand the power of personalization. From hats to water bottles, our expert services include screen printing, embroidery, and a variety of promotional items. We also specialize in team sports gear. What truly sets Laway apart is our dedicated design team, including our talented on-staff graphic designers and exponential customer service. Choose Laway to make a lasting impression on and off the field.
touchdown.
Relive the best moments of the 2025 D3 college football season. Every highlight, every big play are now streaming on JRM Sports YouTube.
Touchdown, what a run.
It's been all Gators at home in the season finale. Great way to end the season for Allegheny. They're looking for fourth win of the year, of either fourth win in conference. It'll be 500 at conference. It'll be the best season since 2019 at 4-6. And Braden Lair said, this is our Super Bowl, looking for 500 in the conference. And so far, so good. As they've gotten 2 touchdowns through the air. Take ice wipe, and one from Larry. Sean Siska, who hadn't thrown a touchdown all season, making his first career start, delivering 3. And Baraducci, with 2 on the ground, he is over 100 yards rushing. An offense that averages 22 a game, puts up 35. It's the most that Allegheny has scored in conference play this year. It ties the second most points scored all year. Rather, it is, I should say, the second most that they scored all year when they lost at Juniata, 40-38. It was the most, so a chance to put it potentially over 40 that's a live ball. That bounces into the end zone, and we take another look at the Devin Larry touchdown.
And Austin, Larry's going to run what's called a hitch and go. He's going to run 5 yards, take a little stutter step, and then break down the field. But what you're going to have to be as a corner is you're going to have to be disciplined. And so when you play it, you're going to watch Barry, the defender, he's going to stop, and he's going to take his eyes off the receiver and go towards the quarterback, Siska. And once Siska sees that, he knows that he is dead as a defensive player. And then Larry's going to go right over the top, and that's just a money throw there. And that's just how you get open, is you kind of exploit the poor eye work as a defense player.
And good execution on the throw and the catch. It goes for just a carry of 1 for Burrell.
And that's just kind of those things that you see on a team when you wonder, like how do they get the record that they have all year long? And it's just kind of those small, tiny things can turn a 5-yard gain into a 40-yard touchdown. It just doesn't really matter where it's at on the field. It can hurt you no matter what. It's how disciplined you are on the defensive end.
Phillips, quick pass. Burrell, past the 30, 35, first down, and he's dragged down as he approaches the 36. It will move the chains on the gain of 10.
But, I mean, I just can't say enough about how a young freshman making his first start and how he's been able to evenly distribute the ball to every single pass catcher on this team. You know, Guy Sweight's going to get his catches. He got those 2 touchdowns earlier. And then Devin Larry, we highlighted at the beginning of the broadcast of just how effective he can be, and they finally get him going with that touchdown.
Phillips, close to a first down as he gets shoved back by Jihad Muhammad, the strong safety,
Phillips on the carry,
after gaining 9.
pushed out of bounds. 9 by Muhammad.
And the option play, and did a good job of faking out a couple of defenders, and Muhammad ends up giving him a shove. Three receivers far side. Phillips looks that way, and it's another quick pass. Burrell falls forward for a first down.
Pass from Brett Phillips out to Burrell, just enough to pick up the first down.
You also think about Bethany's offense. It's not like they're not moving the football in any sort of way. Like, they're clearly getting yards. Burrell has had a really great game today. Brett Phillips kind of does his thing. But it's just the penalties. Every time they make a step forward, they make 2 steps backward. And it's just those negative plays, just like you see there, that just consistently plagues this offense. And the offensive line, a lot of holding penalties, a lot of pre-snap false starts. So just those easy things that you can kind of clean up there in terms of not backing yourself up. And just always, if you're not going to gain anything, at least not losing anything.
Yeah, and you're going backwards when Phillips has no opportunity on that play, as Evans was able to make a play on the back and allow multiple other Allegheny defenders to collapse in on the sack and the 3-yard loss. Colucci came away celebrating after it, and Burrell, with Muhammad bringing him down, was able to get into Allegheny territory.
And so now when you look back on Allegheny's season, right, most likely getting a win in the category for today and being at 500, it's not an easy 500 to get to. And with how many consistent changes they've had in the lineup, it's really impressive to see what they've done so far.
Phillips to throw, and delivers it incomplete for Moffitt. Stops the clock with 3:34 left in the third quarter. We haven't seen Richard Buchanan at all. It's just been Burrell. As Buchanan was described to us earlier this week as an opportunity to be a game changer in the offense, and a part of that good sophomore group that they have. But played in 7 games this year, 204 rushes. Not out there today. Same thing with Carlos Cardoza, so the 2 leading rushers haven't seen him. It's been Burrell who gets close to a first down. Doesn't look like he's going to get to where he needed to at the 43. And Allegheny holds on 4th down. Really impressive day by this defense. Campbell was in on the tackle. Campbell, Evans, Janice, Croston especially, with Colucci, of course. They played very, very well.
At the concession stand from the safety officer. It is a Ram truck. Key fob. We're going to walk through the parking lot and see whose headlights come on.
Oh, our PA announcer saying that somebody lost their keys to a truck. Got to make sure that somebody goes up there and describes it with the correct details. That's Baraducci. It's all in the details for Dom Baraducci. Barreling past defenders to the 36.
And he's been running like a Ram truck today. It just has not been easy to bring down number 22. As soon as he gets through that line of scrimmage, man, he just runs so quickly and so fast and just finds that seam. And it takes a lot of Bison to bring him down. Not Rams, but Bison.
With Bison. Back to the ground. Baraducci trying to follow his blocking as he's dragged down after a pickup of 2. Velez Blackwell, the linebacker, on the tackle.
Tackle by Velez Blackwell for the Bison.
And you think of things as opportunities, and things happen for a reason. And you talk about all these quarterback injuries that Allegheny has, and Coach Laird just talks about he's just trying to get his consistency at the quarterback spot. But sometimes you just unveil something that you really like, and Cisco's been kind of a blessing in disguise so far in this game.
Baraducci comes off. Philip Sampson comes in, and Sampson on the carry. Breaks away from one defender and makes it to the 29. He's able to gain 5 yards. Sampson, now 13 carries on the season. It's 28 yards, and that's a good one for the freshman from North Las Vegas. Allegheny has a lot of players from outside of the area. Now, Dominic Baraducci is from Erie McDowell, but Philip Sampson from Nevada, Sean Siska from Florida. A lot of Florida players on the team. Devin Larry from Georgia. As Siska is able to connect with Larry for the first down.
And Coach Laird did talk about how he's going to keep going to that Florida well, because a lot of his players that have been key contributors have come from that area. So he's definitely making a bigger emphasis on trying to recruit outside of the state of Pennsylvania. And you see Chris Geiswhite coming from Texas. Then you have Devin Larry in your Georgia spot, right? So you have a lot of different pieces from different states. And sometimes it's nice to be able to go to those different wells and see what you get.
Siska bobbles the snap, and he ends up just having to take a dive on the ball at the 28. He's going to lose 5 yards as he bobbled it a couple of times. It was a low snap from Watt. Well, really not too bad of a snap. Just tried to quickly either get it to Baraducci or run the RPO, and ends up going as a negative play. So Baraducci is back in there as the back. As we saw Sampson for a couple of plays. With 30 seconds left in the quarter. Just got a near side throw. Man is open. Nick Berkey on the catch. Berkey upfield inside the 15 and out of bounds. Berkey able to pick up a first down. Gains 15.
Just some easy pitch and catch, little quick flat route, get Berkey the ball a little bit, and it's just that distribution of the football to everybody. And it just seems that Siska is able to find a lot of different guys, and that really helps your offense when you get so many people involved, even if it's just a quick catch.
Allegheny will let the clock run out. We'll move from the left side of the field to the right side and attack the right side end zone for the Gators. Going into the fourth quarter, 15 minutes left on the board in the PAC schedule.
Have a nice day, family. What would they do without me?
Can someone fix my hair? Must have cheesy eggs.
I can't find my keys.
No! Annoying! Never! I'm the king of
Oh, I need some help.
I better get more life insurance.
You're irreplaceable, but a life insurance policy from GBU Life can provide your family with the resources for a well-planned future. Visit gbu.org to get started.
From heating and cooling to a large array of construction equipment, Herc Rentals has the gear you need to get the job done. Herc Rentals is already a staple in several communities across the United States and Canada and have been serving our customers' needs since 1965. With a catalog of equipment that spans the spectrum of almost every kind of solution you can think of. To learn more about Herc Rentals, visit hercrentals.com or call us at 1-888-777-2700.
Waltz into the end zone with a touchdown.
Relive the best moments of the 2025 D3 college football season. Every highlight, every big play are now streaming on JRM Sports YouTube.
Touchdown! What a run!
Stay connected with all the action. Follow JRM Sports on X, Instagram, and YouTube. Get the latest highlights, exclusive content, and behind-the-scenes moments from your favorite sports. Don't miss a second. Follow us today.
We welcome you inside the broadcast booth. Austin Bexhold, Alex Carrot. Our cameraman Stans has done a terrific job throughout the entirety of the season up here in the booth as well. Jake Mislivchik inside our production truck, running everything as part of JRM Video Production. There they are, Madison Benedict in the middle. That was a random hand flying as well. There's Corey Berger off to the left. The Bonnety brothers, an active part of our broadcast throughout the season. One on the end zone cameras. It's a large operation with replay, multiple cameras up in the booth, on the field. Evan Laurent running our sideline camera. Great season. Big thanks to everyone that helps make the season go so well. As Siska will take off and scampers out of bounds.
Siska goes out of bounds.
Well, he's able to gain 4.
We'll bring up 2nd and 6 for the Gators.
Nothing open downfield, and Siska is not much of a runner, but has some decent speed to him. Almost ran into the snow.
And you kind of wonder to see if Coach Lair has somebody else that can relieve Siska at some point in this game, or if you think he's just going to roll with the freshman, give him a lot of reps, even when the score is kind of a little out of reach for Allegheny to worry about Bethany coming back.
Yeah, so Kaya Moses, a sophomore from Rochester, New York, is the backup quarterback today. Would be the 4th quarterback used, as Baraducci ends up losing a couple of yards. Nothing amounting there. Good tackle made. Charlie DeSea, junior outside linebacker.
And then Siska really wants this play back just because he gives the football to Baraducci, which is obviously not a bad idea considering the game that he's had. But, I mean, there was such a large running lane for him to pull that football. Not a lot of guys out on the outside, just everyone sort of crashing in the middle, and Siska definitely was upset that he made that read.
On 3rd and 7, low snap, Siska just trying to make something out of it, and he's tackled down. Back-to-back plays by DeSea, bringing him down in the backfield. And there was a battle in the snow. Mitchell and Barry. And we're going to take another look at what happened as a flag threw in at the back of the end zone, right by Evan Laurent, our sideline camera. Taryn Mitchell and Khalil Barry.
Personal foul, defense, number 8. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first
It
down.
goes on Barry, it'll extend the drive.
Well, that gives Allegheny a first down.
It's a little extracurriculars right there.
Just hate to see that.
They definitely weren't shaking hands after the play. It's just a little bit of a – it's a very physical game, right, which means that tempers kind of rise a little bit, and sometimes that bleeds over after the whistle.
So it's 1st and goal. Some confusion on the Allegheny sideline. Braden Lair is walking on the field. Looks like it's going to
Timeout,
timeout.
Allegheny. First charge, timeout.
So it stops the clocks with 13:29 remaining here in the game.
I'd like to thank today's major sponsor, Erie Bank, for its continued support. Additional support today from the Pennsylvania Sandwich and Pizza Company, located on North Street in downtown Meadville.
This is a Bethany team that does not have a lot of players from Pennsylvania. Julian Cordes, the 5th, is the only player from Pennsylvania on the defensive 2-deep from Cornell High School. And taking a look at some of the scores around the PAC, where there's a lot of Whitfield products on full display with the 4A and 6A championships taking place today. Grove City, 49-14 winners against Hiram in the 4th quarter. W&J defeats Teal, shutout, 67-0. They will go into the NCAA playoffs next week. We'll see where the Presidents are slotted. Will there be a home game at Cameron Stadium? We'll find out. Westminster up on St. Vincent, 47-7, and Geneva finishes off the season 43-16. There will be one more game for Gino DeMarco, at least. See if maybe they find a way to make it into the playoffs. Probably a long shot, but there should be a bowl game for Geneva as well. We'll see how that one will play out. So 1st and goal with Baraducci in there as the back with Siska. And Siska to throw. It's caught. Griffin to the end zone. Will Griffin scores for the touchdown. Will Griffin, the senior, who had one of the loudest ovations by the crowd when he was announced during the Senior Day celebrations, is met by a convoy of teammates to celebrate.
You got to love that on your senior day, giving the tight end some love right there. And just wide open, and Will Griffin was definitely ready for that celebration there at the end.
Him and Alex Rogowski, the 2 seniors, celebrating hand in hand as Ian Olson's on to attempt the extra point. To make it 42-0. It's been all Allegheny here today, and the most points that the Gators have scored all season long.
Quiet on set? No way. This is Jake's time to shine, and Ryan's, and our crew. Cameras, check. Drones, check. Checking that shot we just checked? Double check. We ain't got time to chill. We're out here capturing this action. This is when we get to work, to bring you every moment live, no matter what. Broadcasting changes everything. Transform how you experience the game with JRM Video Production.
Students come to Westminster with goals as unique as we are. Some know the career we want, like Jaheim, who's going to be a physical therapist. Some know the major we want, like Tori, a double major in marketing and math. And for some, the goal is figuring it out, like Mia, who found a great fit and exciting career path as a psychology major. But no matter how we get here, we all graduate the same way, ready to succeed. Westminster College. Real experiences, real success.
Stay connected with all the action. Follow JRM Sports on X, Instagram, and YouTube. Get the latest highlights, exclusive content, and behind-the-scenes moments from your favorite sports. Don't miss a second. Follow us today.
Waltz into the end zone for the touchdown.
Relive the best moments of the 2025 D3 college football season. Every highlight, every big play are now streaming on JRM Sports YouTube.
Touchdown! What a run! Bethany was ranked as the fourth best defense in the PAC, 74th in the nation as well in terms of fourth down defense. And Allegheny has struggled on fourth down. Well, we've seen a couple of penalties factor into that and haven't really reached fourth down a ton, as the Bison have the fourth best red zone defense in the PAC, allowing opponents to score on 74% of the time. Well, Allegheny has taken advantage of the red zone, and they've had a couple of big plays as well, but the pass from Siska to Griffin inside the red zone to extend the lead 42-0 on a gloomy day in Meadville, but the sun is shining in the hearts of the Gators, blanking the Bison to this point in the fourth. Taken from the 8. And run back to, that's a 26 for Beersing.
Eliza Banks on the tackle for your Gators.
Allegheny's defense, one of the best in the PAC in terms of total yards. 387.8 per game, 229.2 overall through the air. And Allegheny's done a really good job of slowing down the pass game, where Bethany has been pretty one-dimensional and had to be after Allegheny jumped out to a sizable lead in the first half. Phillips delivers to an open man downfield that cannot make the catch at the 45. Just a little bit short. Trying to find Jermaine Beersing. It has to be just frustrating for Bethany, who was looking for back-to-back wins. Would have been the first time that happened since 2019, when Bethany defeated Geneva and Carnegie Mellon. CMU no longer in the PAC after finishing as a co-champion three-way tie with W&J and Grove City last year.
And that kind of really threw a wrench into a lot of the expectations in the PAC once Carnegie Mellon left. Carnegie Mellon just being one of those premier teams that have always consistently been in the top 3. And once CMU leaves, that kind of leaves a big opening at the top. And W&J's really filled that opening this year. But Grove City not too far behind. They had that really poor game against W&J this year. But other than that, Grove City has been what they normally are, just had a lot of troubles at the quarterback position.
Yeah, the win against number 10 Cortland was significant, as Phillips on third down, pass is caught by Burns, and it is able to keep the drive alive. Jacob Burns over 400 yards receiving on the season. Went over that mark today as David Williams pushed him out. Bethany in that 2019 season finished 4-6, or 4-5 in the PAC in 2019. But since then, Bison have really just been picking up the pieces, trying to find some consistency, as Phillips delivers high and caught. Beersing makes a move towards the 35 and is down at the 36.
And now we're going to see this Bethany offense starting to show a little bit of life. Phillips thrown over in the middle of the field, and it's a great catch there on the receiving end, but just haven't been able to put 2 or 3 good plays together in a row. It's always just been great play followed by a negative play.
From the Bethany 36 to the Allegheny 36. And Phillips with time, steps up and now will run. And he tiptoes out of bounds after a gain of 5 yards.
Run out of bounds by Colucci.
It's also the 50th anniversary of the 1975 PAC championship team for Bethany under the leadership of Hall of Fame head coach Don Alt. It was the 3rd PAC championship in Bethany history and the first under Coach Alt. Incomplete looking for Beersing. Bethany finished 5-4 or 5-1 in the conference. Clinched an outright championship over W&J in the final game of the year. They won 24-13, W&J, this year's PAC champ. No tiebreakers this year. As W&J, the only team to finish undefeated in conference play. And there was some doubt that was going to happen this year after W&J started the year 0-2. Non-conference, had a bye week before the Grove City game. Ended up winning out. That's Phillips on third down. Delivers a shot downfield out of bounds. trying to find Bison again. They've connected a couple of times on the drive.
But like you said, Austin, with W&J and how they've changed their season, those 2 non-conference games end up falling to 2 pretty good teams. And then once they hit PAC play, they just clicked on offense. And it all came from the quarterback position. And Kellen Stahl had a lot of big shoes to fill when he was able to relieve a 3-year starter in Jake Pugh for W&J. And Kellen Stahl has been one of the most efficient passers since those first 2 games. And he's just really changed his season with all those playmakers that he has around him with Peduzzi and McCosker.
4th and 4 for Phillips. Delivers near side. Pass is caught. Will it be enough? Davis tries to spin his way there, but he is a yard short. He's held out by Anthony Sines, the sophomore corner. Typically the 3rd corner in the defensive pattern, and Sines comes up with a big tackle. He was also helped out by Croston, the leading tackler. Well, the top 10 of the PAC. As Allegheny's offense will take over. We talked about Phillips. He's thrown for over 1,000 yards for back-to-back seasons. He did that in the game against Waynesburg despite missing the 3 games that he did, and 300 yards on the ground. He's done that in back-to-back years. And it's the program's first 2,000-yard passer since 2015. There's not a lot of options for him to be able to deliver to, as Baraducci takes it for 10 yards. And we do see a quarterback change. So we see Sean Siska. His day is now done, and we wondered who the 4th-string quarterback was going to be. And it is Kaya Moses, the sophomore, 5'9", 185-pound quarterback. And that steps in the 4th, 5th quarterback with Geisweit throwing 3 passes for 3 touchdowns that has played for Allegheny. Moses in the pistol. And he hands it off. 2-yard carry. Sampson.
We'll pick up 2. Tackle by Swagger on the play.
So Baraducci will come back out onto the field. It's just hard to take him off the field. He's out there a significant amount of snaps.
They give him a 1-play breather, and then they just put him right back in
Put him right back in the game. Why not? As Mitchell, Larry, and Geisweit are out there in the pattern. Griffin also in at tight end. So really only the quarterback change. The only significant move by Allegheny to change personnel. As it's a quick pass to Larry, and Baraducci and Moses just ran into each other on 2nd down. There needed to be some confusion on the RPO. So it sets up 3rd and 8. Clock stops at 9:21. Could see Moses throw for the first time. Was Baraducci the back? Moses delivers, pass caught. Berkey, it was the 2nd time, I should say, that he's thrown a pass. This time he completes it to the 49. And Berkey on a dive makes the reception.
Moses able to deliver pretty good football on time. Steps up in the pocket, finds Berkey coming across, and a little bit low. Kind of forces him to really just control that catch and get down, but still able to move the chains and keep the drive alive.
On 1st down. Moses will throw again, and it's a quick pass to Mitchell. Not much blocking in front of him, but he gets away from one tackler, gets away from another. Mitchell with his speed goes for a 1st down. He was able to break away and pick up 12. That was just a great play by Taryn Mitchell, the junior from St. Louis. Make it all happen himself.
And Mitchell just such an athletic piece and able to just get around the edge. Fights his way back inside, and it's that burst of speed that you've seen a lot of these Allegheny receivers, not necessarily the tallest players on the field, but, man, are they fast, and they create so much separation off their breaks.
First down at the 39. They go to Baraducci. Baraducci with nothing but open space past the 25, and he's brought down after a solid pickup of 16 yards for Baraducci. How about the offensive line just completely carrying out a lane? There was just nothing but open running room.
And that's just a great block by the center, Aiden Watt. Gets to the second level, gets onto a linebacker, and just creates an even bigger hole for Baraducci to go right through.
And Allegheny's ability to win at the line of scrimmage today has been in full effect. Both sides of the ball. As they hand it off to Baraducci. Baraducci still fighting.
For additional yardage.
He goes for 6.
After a pickup of 6. We'll bring up 2nd and 4 for your Gators.
Amarian Williams was trying to grab Baraducci from the back of his jersey.
18-yard line up Bethany.
And it was just pulling and grabbing, and it took a couple of his teammates to finally just pick up Baraducci and have him not move anymore upfield. Cloudy day with dark skies rolling in. Blown up in the backfield.
Sampson on the carry.
Desea.
Goes nowhere. He's going to lose yards.
Give Sampson no chance. Sampson a little bit slow to get up as Charlie Desea was unblocked. And that's just textbook play right off the edge on what to do. Unblocked, big hit. And Sampson is going to hobble off.
And at that point in time, if you're Moses, you really got to pull that football because you see that defensive end just crash down right towards the running back. And you kind of let your running back take a really big hit. So if Moses would have been able to take that football out of there just in time, he probably would have had more of a running lane on the right side.
Baraducci returns for 3rd down and 8. Moses takes a shot to the end zone. Incomplete. Was looking for Rossell.
Pass intended for
Remington Rossell.
Falls incomplete.
Second target of the game.
For your Gators.
And it falls incomplete. So we'll see what Allegheny elects to do here. On 4th down and 8. Clock stops at 5:48 remaining. And we'll go. And Braden Lairs electing to call timeout. It's the second timeout used by Allegheny.
While you're here, ladies and gentlemen, stop by the beer garden located next to the concession
And
stand.
you wonder what the future does hold for the Bethany Bison with Brandon Robinson about to drop to 3 and 37 overall. He's also the assistant director of athletics at Bethany, but in his 4th year, he said that there's obviously pressure in every game, and every game is important, but he knew the significance of this game and important in terms of what it means moving forward for the program. And a 42-0 score with 5:48 left to go in the 4th quarter has to leave a negative taste in your mouth and leave you wondering what might be next.
And you see Waynesburg parting ways with Dr. Cornelius Coleman, and you kind of think that if you don't reach that standard that's set for the program, then sometimes it's not looking good for you.
Moses looks to throw near side. That one is caught by Rossell. Remington Rossell picks up the 1st down as they go forward on 4th.
Remington Rossell. That's an Allegheny Gator. First down.
Moses just throws that ball out there and a little behind his receiver, forces him to come back a little bit. And Rossell just still able to make the catch. But this Bethany secondary has really struggled to defend the pass all day long.
Did they go to Baraducci to try to give him the hat trick on 1st and goal from the 7? They will, and it's blown up again, dragged down by Desea. So last time it was Sampson, this time it was Baraducci and Desea. Blitzing off the edge. And Baraducci was just fortunate to hold on to the football.
And on those types of plays, you just really want to look at the defensive end's shoulders and how he's running towards the football. If his shoulders are parallel to the line of scrimmage, that means he's trying to play both. That's when you usually hand it off to your back. But when you see him turn those shoulders and run right at the running back, that's a good indication that you should pull the football and run it yourself.
They go to Baraducci. And Baraducci along the right side. Was able to pick up some of the yardage that was lost after the 5-yard loss on the last carry. Swagger makes the tackle, and they'll set up 3rd and goal from just outside the 8. Four minutes remaining. Berkey, Geiswhite, and Larry, the receivers, with Griffin, the tight end, on the far side for Moses. Baraducci is the back. They check the sideline, and with the play clock expiring, Allegheny will call its final timeout. Well, a lot of highlights for the Gators to check out, and if you missed any of them, you can check them out on our JRM Sports X Twitter page. Also on Instagram and on YouTube. For real-time content and highlights, you can follow us at JRM Sports. "11 weeks and 10 games." It was by pretty quick as we started the season with Utica and W&J, with the Presidents giving up 500 yards through the air
to a Division I transfer quarterback that no one really knew about. And that's the kind of beauty of week one, is you just never know what you're going to get. And sometimes when you have someone that good come to Division III football, they kind of show why they were a little bit higher to begin with. But now we're here, and Allegheny just doing what they're doing to show that they can really move on into the next seasons and hopefully contend with those types of teams.
Yeah, same spot that we ended last season, right here at Allegheny. As Moses looks to throw. Steps up, and he goes down. Dragged down by DeSea and Tristan Tubbs. Set up 4th down, and there's a player down for Allegheny. The unit is coming onto the field. As Tubbs was able to wrap him up. DeSea helped to finish him off. And the injured man down is Andre Barnes, the senior left guard, as he's being attended to on the field.
This awesome gift is from my grandma. I use free pay policy from GBU Life. What does it do? It accumulates cash value, helps protect my future insurability, and it may even earn dividends. What's so great about that? My policy will grow with me. Plus, I get access to the GBU Life Youth Leaders Program, scholarships, and more. Oh. You might be interested in a GBU Life annuity. You're probably thinking about retiring soon, right, Mrs. Jones?
Barnes was able to walk off the field under his own power. It's a 28-yard field goal for Ian Olson. He has made a 29-yarder this year. Good snap. Block kick, though. Olson not able to knock it through. It's blocked by the Bison. And goes into the end zone.
Khalil Berry blocks the field goal attempt.
Berry came off the edge to block it.
Turn it over to
as the Bison are able to prevent further points on the board and to play on special teams. No, I think it might have actually been DeSea that got a hand on it. Looked like the man off the edge, but instead DeSea. First down for Bethany. And Phillips will throw downfield. Pass is caught. And Bison makes it to the 40. Gains 15.
And at this point, you're just trying to get one last drive to get yourself some points on the board and get that 0, because, man, that 0 is really disheartening to see at the end of a game, and especially with how many opportunities you've had in plus territory to really take advantage. So we'll see if they can do it on this last go-around.
Handed off and goes for a gain of about 5 yards. Bethany has been shut out twice this season, and it came in the first 2 PAC games of the year, losing 55-0 to Case Western Reserve and 52-0 at Westminster. 17 points in the win last week against Teal. They scored 28 against Waynesburg on November 1st in a loss 48-28. As Phillips under pressure just throws it away at the feet of Moffitt.
Heavy rush there. Phillips throws incomplete. Will bring up 3rd and 5.
Moffitt in there at tight end, where he's been for a large part of his career, but he actually played linebacker starting in week 4 this year against Case Western Reserve. Totaled 15 total tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and an interception since moving to the defensive side of the ball. But the senior from Atlanta back at tight end for this final game. Trying to help his offense on 3rd and 5. As Phillips will run it himself and get tracked down in the backfield. Great play made defensively by Anthony Sines, helping to force the pressure, but it sets up 4th down. Man, it's a solid defensive play. With a 2-minute timeout commencing after the solid tackle made by Ian Hutter from Mount Pleasant, Pennsylvania. 2 minutes left from Meadville.
A house is just 4 walls, but a home, that's something more. At Your Town Realty, we don't just work here, we live here. We're small by choice, with deep roots and real relationships that go beyond transactions. And because this city means so much to us, we give back, year after year. It's not about being the biggest, it's about being the one that feels like home. Your Town Realty, locally owned, community grown.
Thanks for fixing the door.
I was nervous about that lock.
To your family, you are more than just your income.
What would she do without me? She'd probably have to marry our next-door neighbor, Todd.
Well, Todd, I have no feelings for you whatsoever, but I'm going to have to say I do. I can't afford a handyman.
Better get some life insurance.
Although you're irreplaceable, a life insurance policy from GBU Life can provide the financial security your family needs for a secure future. To get started, visit gbu.org.
Pursue your calling at Grove City College.
If you need insurance, you need an agency that's sharp. The Sharp Insurance Agency is an independent agency and distinguish themselves by providing face-to-face customer service and reviewing coverage to provide the best possible value for their clients.
Hi, I'm Mike Sharp. Lean on my years of experience in the Pittsburgh area to find you the best insurance coverage, because when insurance companies compete, you win.
The Sharp Insurance Agency. Contact us today to have your personal or business insurance professionally reviewed.
4th down and 7. The cowbells are ringing. And Phillips is throwing. Downfield, he has a man! Past the 20-yard line, Bison is going to run into the end zone for the touchdown. There's a flag that is back in the backfield, but Phillips was able to find Jermaine Bison. Will it be a touchdown, or is it a holding penalty? It looks like it's going to be a touchdown. Does Bethany get on the board?
First result of the play is a touchdown.
Yes.
Personal foul. Defense roughing the passer. That penalty will be enforced on the extra point. Half the distance to the goal.
Brett Phillips finds Jermaine Bison for his 2nd touchdown of the year, and Bethany is on the board.
That's a great throw by Brett Phillips, we finally see something happen on offense for the Bison. This little hole shot with the seam between the corner and the safety. And that's just a great find. Just to get that 0, wipe that 0 off the board. I put 6 on there for the Bison.
So Bethany will elect to go for 2. And now call timeout.
Timeout, Bethany. That's their first charge timeout.
So still 2 remaining for the Bison as they get on the board. For the first time, it will not be shut out for the 3rd time this season. 42-6. Trying to make it 42-8 with a successful 2-point try. Let's take a look, Alex. How did Phillips find Biersing? How was Jermaine Biersing so wide open?
And Biersing's just going to run this seam right down the middle of the field. And what he's going to do is he's going to split the zone between the corner, right, and the safety that's coming over the top. And there's just a little bit of a crease there. And when you play it, you're going to see Biersing's just going to go right up the seam. Before that safety can close, Phillips throws it right on time. And the safety not able to make the play, and it's gone.
And Phillips took a big hit. He was sandwiched. He went down to the ground and stood strong in the pocket on 4th down.
And when you have a defense that's playing like prevent, like making sure nothing gets over the top of them, there's that quick little window. It's called the hole shot, where that seam, there's that small opening, and if he doesn't hit it on time, that's a pick. But in that case, just finds it right on time and gets a good play there at the end of this game.
Two-point try for Bethany. Phillips rolls out, design run, and there's nothing there. So Phillips just decides to slide down at the 5. And gets helped up. Ty Vickery and Matthew Phillips was in on the tackle on Phillips. I hope that the audience at home can hear our PA announcer here at Allegheny. He really brings the thunder for the Gator faithful and fires them up. Very unique PA announcer. Gotta love him.
Now it's senior day for Allegheny Gators, and you just see a lot of guys who are happy with the outcome of this game, but also you kind of get the little bit of the feeling set in that this is going to be the last football game a lot of these players are going to play, and they've been playing football since they're in elementary school, and some going on over 15 years of playing football.
10 seniors recognized for Allegheny, including Colton Colucci, who in the last couple of seasons has just been a huge force for defense. He is out there right now on the hands team trying to recover this onside kick. As we'll see what Bethany elects to do here. They have Mitchell standing at the 25, as it will just be a short kick. Not electing onside, and Mitchell will just take it at the 24. Chris Geiswhite, also celebrating senior day, number 8. Ian Hutter as well. We saw out there a couple good plays on defense. Will Griffin, the tight end. Fletcher Hammond, who's really battled injuries, but played really well today on defense. Donovan Mowry as well up front. David Marquez, Jake Kaminsky, Alex Rogowski on the line, and Andre Barnes. The Allegheny Gators seniors, the 3rd-year head coach, Braden Lair. Now look to improve to 4-6. As Braden was so excited to talk to his team at halftime, he just ran right into the locker room. We didn't even get a chance to talk to him. But a lot of good things must have been discussed in the locker room as Allegheny is able to take a knee, and this will just bleed out the rest of the clock. Bethany does not call a timeout with 2 remaining. And the Gators can walk away with a victory.
And you're kind of able to see a lot of bright spots for Allegheny. A lot of young players. Even though you're kind of departing with a lot of seniors, you do look at this freshman and sophomore class and just think of all the players that are about to take a bigger step forward, hopefully, in the next season. And now it's just, where do you go from here? Where do you use this momentum going into the end of the season, in the off season, and how do you build that to get even more, a couple more wins to get more in the plus category in terms of wins.
So Bethany will fall to 1-9 as the Bison not won more than one game under Coach Robinson. 3 seasons of 1 win, 1 season without a win. And Allegheny will finish 500 in conference play. The first time under Braden Lair. And just 1 win last year. +3 in the win column as Allegheny starting to find something under Coach Lair. As the Allegheny Gators win it 42-16. The first day of the Vic Crest Press Box sees a victory as Allegheny and Bethany meet at midfield to shake hands and conclude the 2025 President's Athletic Conference regular season. We will see what the future holds in terms of the playoff game for W&J, bowl games for the likes of Westminster, Geneva. Does Grove City, with a statement win against Cortland, 7 turnovers, sneak in to the NCAA playoffs? A lot still to find out over the next couple of days and where teams will be slotted in the upper portion of the PAC, but Bethany moves along now into the offseason, as does Allegheny. Allegheny on more of a high note as the Gators finished this season with a season that had back-to-back losses twice. They prevent that from happening as they went winless in non-con play and then defeated Teal, lost to Geneva, beat Waynesburg, lost 2 in a row to Case Western Reserve and Grove City, but then beat Hiram, lost at Westminster, and beat Bethany on Senior Day and Military Appreciation Day here today in Meadville. And a great day for Siska. Sean Siska making his first start of his career, the freshman. 2 touchdown passes to Geiswhite, 1 to Larry. We saw Baraducci involved in on the action, a couple of touchdowns. And an overall solid performance that, if you're Allegheny, you can take a lot of positives and a lot of good things away from this season. It was a highlight-full day for the Allegheny Gators. As we had a couple of technical difficulties trying to bring you Dom Baraducci down the field, now in the middle of the post-game huddle with Braden Lair. And as the season commences, we'll let them take care of their necessary business. But Dom Baraducci, our player of the game, with 20 carries for 146 yards and 2 touchdowns in the victory for the Gators, including a 49-yard score in the first half. Pure speed for Baraducci to be able to reach the end zone as Allegheny walks away with the victory here in Meadville. And overall, has to be a solid day to be a Gator, as you found something with Siska that potentially could lead to more. And a potential quarterback competition. We'll see how many quarterbacks stay for Allegheny if all 3, Barker, Colucci, and Siska, are here. But Allegheny has options, and Allegheny definitely has talent, whether it be at quarterback, at running back, and also at wide receiver. For an offense that also has some veteran defensive pieces that are coming back.